The Treubig Show.
This is the time for pleasant discussion in a thoroughly relaxed mood.
Well, okay, hotshot.
Is it possible for you to shut the up for 10 seconds?
TreubigShow.com. What's up, everybody? My name is Treubig. This is Treubig Show. Hit me up, TreubigShow.com. Phone number 855-873-8244. Press 1 to listen and 2 to call. It's Friday. Right. Damn straight it's Friday. About to get the show on the road. Look at that, gold prices are down. According to the screen it is. But they're still over $2,000. They're like $2,050. It looks like silver's breaking even. I'm looking at the precious metal prices. So there you go. The governor tested positive for COVID-19, the governor of Ohio, but then tested negative. So think whatever you want about the test results of the virus. And it is what it is. And what it is not good. Everything is not good. Let's see here. Let me do this. And let me do that. And get this out of the way. And press that. And say hello to the person on the phone.
What is your answer? He is correct.
What are you watching on television?
What do you want to take now, Jim?
Nothing. Muted. Okay, well. Then, I'll put you back where you were. I don't know. If you don't want to talk on the phone. That's fine. Sounds like a game show. Oh well. Alright, well, I sent them back to do whatever they want to do. And we'll just get the show on the road. How about it? Let's do it. And see what the people are up to. And what they're thinking about. And what they're doing. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So what's on your mind?
Nothing much, I'm just bored.
Why are you bored?
I don't know, you have a cool setup.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Live radio?
Right. So, any topics on your mind? Anything you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Black Lives Matter, I guess.
Alright, what about it?
What are your opinions on it?
About what?
Black Lives Matter.
The organization or the movement? The cause?
Well, both. Both, I guess.
The organization, no.
I agree.
and the cause or the movement misguided.
Yes, I agree.
Wow, why?
Well, I don't know. I just don't really see the point in it because it was originally for police brutality, which of course I agree with, but not just black people experience that. Like all the races experience it, and everybody should be coming together, not just it's not just against black lives.
Okay, I would agree with you in that sense. Now, I do have a question. Why aren't people angry at the politicians?
I think they are.
What did the politicians do?
I don't know, maybe they didn't like pass the bills that they want. I don't know, from what I've seen on TV.
Don't you think there's too many laws?
What do you mean by that?
That the politicians created the atmosphere for the conflict between people and the police?
Well, I mean, not really the politicians, more like the news networks.
Why? What did the news
Like
networks
the
do?
left-leaning, biased ones, right-leaning, both ways.
All right, I see what you're saying as far as the tensions go, but I guess what I'm talking about is everything has a law attached to it, it seems.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, there are a lot of bogus laws. Would you agree?
Well, could you specify?
All right, such as if I owned a house with property and
Okay.
I wanted to build a shed in
what?
the backyard, should I
Okay.
have to ask for permission?
I don't think, I mean, maybe if you have like a homeowners association problem or something. I don't know.
Well, currently, if someone wants to do that, many places, well, most places, you have to get a permit.
In America?
Yes, of course.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, is that politicized, or is that just like something each individual neighborhood comes up with?
Well, the politicians have to have wrote the laws because they're the legislature.
Not
and
always.
then-
It's not just the politician. It's
How?
Wait, okay, wait. Yeah, actually, you're right. Never mind. I always just think of the president when I think of politicians.
No, that even goes down to your
Yeah.
city council.
I know. Yeah, I agree. That law's stupid. But I'm
What
not
about
really
no
educated on
liquor
it, so-
sales on Sundays?
What?
No liquor sales on Sundays?
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know that.
There's some places that are dry. They're dry cities.
Mhm.
Where you can't even buy or purchase alcohol.
Oh, that's kind of. I don't know why that is.
That's what I'm saying, is that if we're the land of the free, home of the brave, why don't we start acting like we're the land of the free and actually be free?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I've never even heard of those.
What about Obamacare?
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a law.
Oh, well, I don't. I'm pretty sure it's like really bad.
Why?
I was not paying attention when Obama was president.
Oh, okay. It was pretty much a mandate that everyone who worked had to have health insurance, and you had to buy it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's weird.
Well, I like your thought process.
Thanks, you too. I didn't even know about those laws. Thank you for informing me about those.
Oh, there's more.
That. I'm sure there are more.
Yeah. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
what to do about that, though. I can, like, protest for sheds in my backyard or something.
All right, well, let me give you an example. I'm in Ohio, and in Ohio, it's a state where police do not need probable cause to identify you. So
Okay.
they could stop you with reasonable, articulable suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on if a reasonable person thinks that you committed a crime. They have to have facts. Now, in
Okay.
Texas, it's a bit different, that you have to be lawfully arrested.
Oh.
So they have to arrest you before you have to provide them, before you're required to provide them with identification, which would be on the side of freedom and liberty.
Yeah.
But reasonable, articulable suspicion is not, because they don't need probable cause or an arrest. So
Yeah.
what about things like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well-
All right. It was good talking to you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
She is smart. Yes. I agree. But she didn't want to talk about that anymore. I'm trying to throw ideas.
What's up, bro?
Hi.
You're live?
Right now. So what's on your mind?
Niggers.
And gone. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing? And she's gone.
Who are you?
Live radio. Live radio.
Hi. What's happening? Biden 2020.
Yes, what she said.
What'd she say?
I don't know. You just said it.
She just came with a chair right next to you.
Dude, it happened again. I'm gonna freak out.
Dude, because you fucking touched it.
That was gay.
Hi,
Hi.
live radio. Are you
Right.
streaming?
What?
Are you streaming? Or,
Yes.
Oh shit.
So no one can see. It's just audio. So what's on your mind?
What's on my mind?
Yes.
Well, now the live radio's on my mind, so I don't know what I can and cannot say.
Anything you want. I mean,
Anything I want.
a guy 2 people ago said the N-word like 3 times. And then
What's that gonna
skipped.
do? That's not gonna do anything. It's funny, but it's not gonna do anything.
Wow. It gets old after a while.
It gets old, especially. Also, talking about
I don't know
Jews
why.
gets
How
old.
is it funny?
It's shock humor.
Yeah, but it's not humorous. Like, don't we all know what the N-word is? We hear it in every rap song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's sort of shock humor. It's kind of the same like a rape joke. It's funny, but
Maybe
you know, we know what it is.
maybe to a nun.
So, fuck, what do I want to say? I could go on about the JQ, but I see no point in that. Bro, I'm gonna let you continue to some people that actually know what they're gonna say.
Bring up a topic.
Bring up topic. I have no topic, man.
Just pick one.
I am very uninteresting.
Just pick a topic that is
pick a
in the
topic.
news. Yeah, anything. A topic,
Sure.
a political topic,
Immigration.
policy.
Simple as- Immigration. Let's
All
go
right,
about
what
that.
about immigration?
How do you feel we should handle immigration?
What exactly do you mean by that? The illegal
nothing-
immigration or the legal?
Full immigration. Legal and illegal. Just immigration in general.
Well, let people in when they apply to come in and they've been vetted, right?
And then, but this goes for all people. Is there a certain amount you want to take in? Is there a certain agenda that needs to be get? Is there like a limit?
Should there be?
I am against immigration from non-Western nations in general.
Period. Like,
Yes, period.
all?
I am in favor of an ethno state.
okay, why?
Because I think that different nations, different ethnicities can't work together.
Okay.
Mhm.
Why? I don't know. I work with different types of people all the time.
Mhm. I think that our cultural ideas are separate. I think intelligence-wise and race mixing is a bad thing, and that's what you're gonna get eventually. Those are 2 of my main things.
Okay, why do you feel this way?
Why do I feel this way? Because I
Yes.
live in a city. I live in a European city that has been overrun by Africans.
And what caused that?
What caused that? The fact that that nation is shitty, that they want to live here in a state that's clearly better. The fact that our great benevolent rulers on so-called democratic parties want to let them in. Yeah, that's the main reason why. Their place is shitty, it's better to live here, and we let them in.
So what do you mean by overrun? Are they just like opening the door and saying, "Come in, come all," and
It's quite easy, yeah. Let's say you, as a foreigner, get married to a Dutchman. You can bring your entire family over, your extended family. You can bring it all over. That's one way. We see it in the youth. We are slowly being replaced. There are only a couple places that are majority Dutch in the youth. The rest is kind of turning Arab or black. Those are two things that we are being replaced, that we are being overrun.
so what is the threat to you?
What's the threat to me?
Yes.
The threat is not necessarily to me. It's towards my ethnicity, towards the extinction of it.
Why can't you guys coexist?
Because we have very different agendas.
Yeah, but if it's a free society, then, such as like in the United States, we have a constitution, and in the constitution it has the Bill of Rights, and certain things cannot be infringed on. So no matter who gets into office, those certain things can't be infringed upon, even though they do. I can't lie to you, but
a lot of nations have a constitution, and other nations have a ground law which cannot be changed. Yet what you see in these Western nations is you are getting Islamic parties like Sharia parties. In Belgium you have a Sharia party that has gone quite big under the Muslim population, and it wants to enforce Sharia law. It wants to get rid of the Belgian democratic system. It wants to get rid of a lot of things. I myself am not from Belgium, but I do know that's a thing, because I visit Belgium quite often, and I know that party is an actual threat. So at a certain point you can say, well, we have a constitution, we have this, but if more and more people are in favor of getting rid of that constitution because more people see a party or see a group that is against it from their own ethnicity, from their own culture, of course you're going to agree with that. Humans have a inward bias towards everything. If it's from the family all the way to a grand scale. Black people have it, white people have it, Asian people have it. White people inward bias is the lowest. It's very simple. If there was a house, would you rather to get someone from your family to have it, or to get another family to have it? That's something very simple. Would you rather have something that you can relate with, someone that you agree with, someone that is part of you, of your group, or someone of another group where you have nothing in common with except for one or two things? And that just goes up on skill and skill until you reach a nationality-wise, until you reach racially-wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the United States, we don't have one set race or ethnicity or religion. There's not.
That's why white youth are now in the minority if you don't include Hispanic white people. You don't. It's always been multicultural. That's why I think the United States is a lost cause. That's why I don't generally focus on American politics, because America is a lost cause.
Why?
Because white Americans are already in the minority, and I do not care for the black Americans or Hispanic Americans, since they are not my group, since it's not my continent.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right.
Is that all?
Yep.
Alright, cheers, man. Have a great night.
Later. Hi.
Live radio.
Yes.
What music are you playing?
None.
What sort of radio is that?
Obviously one that is very intellectually superior.
You need to make a pirate radio like we do in England.
Well, do whatever you want.
Do you know what pirate radio is?
No.
You've got to play like garage.
Like pirate ships?
No, it's virtually.
Do people go and they like take over radio stations and demand treasures and rum?
No.
Yeah.
They just take over radio frequencies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Google it.
Google it?
Google UK pirate radios. And it'll come with loads of YouTube videos of them climbing on skyscrapers, getting into them. The studios.
Well, that's evil.
It isn't. It's bloody brilliant.
No, it's not. It's evil.
How is it?
Because you're stealing
What are you stealing?
air.
But ain't you stealing air off us English?
What?
Air belongs to English people.
Says who?
Not American. Says the English.
Hey, we fought you guys and we won, and you're just still bitter about it.
No, you didn't.
Yep.
What did you fight? When did you fight us?
Well, we fought the British.
No, you didn't. You bottled out of Iraq, mate. You left us to pick up all the pieces.
No, you came to take us over and you lost, and you're bitter about it.
No.
Yep.
You bottled it. The Americans bottled it.
Nope, you lost. That's why we're here, and we don't really care about the Queen, about the royal family. We don't follow the crown.
Neither do we. I don't know anything about the Queen other than the name's Queen Elizabeth, and she's on all my money.
And we don't do anything that you British people do. We're free. We got freedom and liberty, and the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence was just for you.
Yeah, and guess what? Our accents get all your women's pussies wet.
Yeah, that's not true. They just tell you that, so then they seduce you into not wanting to fight us again.
Not really.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's just a pity. It's a pity game.
I finger blasted an American bird once.
Highly doubt it.
I actually did. Mum's life.
I don't believe you.
She come from America. Nowhere.
Do you have it on video?
Well, no.
Then it didn't happen.
1 second.
If it's not on video, it didn't happen.
You're just angry.
I'm not angry. You're projecting your anger to me.
You're angry that
because your ancestors couldn't win a simple war.
But instead, we get all your women now, and we take on your.
No, none of our women go over there.
No, we just come over there and we get houses.
You get houses.
Yeah, we get a fucking free visa, money off the government, a pipe down.
Yeah? You've done this?
Yeah, I've done it a couple of times.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
All your taxpayers' money comes to us.
Oh, yeah? Where?
What do you mean, where?
Where does it go?
Mate, I own houses all over the place. Chicago.
Oh, you do?
Miami. Yeah, boss.
No, I don't believe you. Is it on? Do you have it on? Do you have it on video?
I had some women get a tit out on it.
Do you have it on video?
Yes.
Where? Show me the video.
Well, I can't 'cause I'm on my phone.
Oh, well then it didn't happen. If you can't show the video, it didn't happen. No video, it didn't happen.
You're just angry.
I'm not angry. You're projecting your anger that you guys could not win a simple war.
This is how we get you. This is how we seduce your women.
No, they're seducing you to keep you a puppet of the United States.
This is how we get your women.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
All over the room.
Hey, you got no video of this? That didn't happen.
Have you ever wondered how we made the Pacific into water?
No.
Those English boys just fingered all your birds, innit?
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Because we didn't want to be related to your country, so we just filled it full of women's ejaculation.
Yep, that didn't happen.
Yep, it did.
Is it on video?
Yep.
Where?
On Google.
Well, if you can't provide the video, then it didn't happen.
It is on YouTube. Put it in.
No, you have the burden of proof here.
I do. Go
right.
on YouTube. It's
and
on
there
YouTube.
is none. You have none.
It's just literally.
You have the burden of proof. You have to prove it to me. I don't have to do the work. You are making claims that you cannot back up.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Look.
You haven't backed one up yet. It's all been a whole bunch of malarkey.
So you're telling me that? So you're telling me the Pacific Ocean doesn't exist?
I didn't say that.
So you know it exists. That's how we made it.
Your version doesn't exist.
It's man-made. It's man-made.
Oh, it's man-made?
It's English-made.
Do you have video of this?
Yes.
Where?
YouTube.
That's not an answer.
Actually, Pornhub. It's on Pornhub.
That's not an answer.
Put on English.
You need to provide the evidence of this, or else it didn't happen.
Pornhub. Go on Pornhub and put it in. Englishman finger blast 20 American birds to fill the Pacific Ocean. And it'll come up.
No. You do this. You have the burden of proof. You're making claims that you cannot back up.
Mate, I was the star of the show.
Well, now I don't believe you. Nor have I ever, this entire conversation.
You're just angry.
How am I angry?
Because you can't fight a war. You leave us English to it.
You're absolutely incorrect. We beat you. So.
No, you didn't.
And we did it with ball and powder. We didn't even need to have tanks.
Whenever you have a problem with Iran, you go, England, please help us.
No, we've never done that.
Because you've got loads of nuclear submarines. Help us to threaten them.
We haven't done that.
Please.
You guys took our military equipment. You took our ideas.
To be fair, I know loads of people in the military that was on Camp Bastion and used to steal all the Americans' infrared glasses. Because the English don't give them out, so they used to steal all the Americans' equipment.
Have you seen this?
Yep.
You saw it?
No, I didn't see it, but I know it happened.
Hearsay. It's not admissible in this conversation.
What do you mean? You're just angry because we.
No, I'm not angry.
All right, so
you've made 10 minutes of claims with no evidence to back it up.
We take your military equipment.
Well, it doesn't matter because we won a war and created our own country. So therefore you lose and your pussy hurts because of it.
No, your American women's pussy hurts. That's the weird thing, isn't it?
No, that's not what's happening.
You're so angry. You get so angry.
Oh, I'm not angry. I actually think it's funny you're projecting your loss and inability to win a war.
An Englishman with your sister just clapping them cheeks with his English accent.
That's what you do to your sister?
No, to your sister.
No, I swear I just heard you say, "This is what I do with my sister,"
no,
and her cheeks.
You're long now. I'm dipping. I need to find some American pussy. Safe.
No, that's not gonna happen.
It will.
No, they don't go for you. There he goes. He pushed out, just like they did in the Revolutionary War.
Live?
Hello. How you doing? No talk. Get skipped. Hello. Hello. And goodbye. And gone.
I wanna.
Hi.
Hi.
Biden 2020.
Biden's a fucking idiot.
Okay, he's an idiot, but okay.
Why? How do you say that? He's the best candidate we've seen in probably 2 decades.
His IQ.
He can't even form a sentence.
Yeah, I heard him say a sentence the other day.
Oh, what was it? The one they said that he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle.
No, he said, look at my record. It speaks for itself.
Or he said that if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Was it one of those three?
Yeah, there's no evidence of that.
He said the N-word twice on live TV.
Where?
He said it in court. Look it up.
I don't think that ever happened.
I literally can tell you it happened.
Everything you said is just to convince me not to vote for him.
Yep, because he literally said all three of those
No,
things.
they're lies. It's
Oh,
propaganda.
they're lies. They came out of his mouth and they're lies.
It's propaganda.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you support a racist?
Absolutely not. I'm not voting for Trump.
How's Trump racist?
He's totally racist.
How?
He doesn't like black people.
That's why there's the lowest black unemployment
That's what
rate.
CNN said.
Oh, CNN, yeah.
Yeah, Don Lemon said that a bunch of times.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I really hope you're joking.
No, he really did say that.
I really just hope this whole you is a joke.
No, I'm telling you that Don
racist.
Lemon really did say that on CNN.
Wow, CNN.
That Donald Trump is a racist.
Wow, good for CNN.
So name one good thing Donald Trump has done. That's not a lie.
Just said lowest black unemployment rate. More than 7 million people.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Why do you just choose one race?
Because you just called him racist.
Yeah.
So I was giving you a fact to prove that he's not racist.
Yeah, but he could hate white people. How do you know that he doesn't hate white people?
Oh, but your logic says that only white people can be racist.
I didn't say that.
That's what liberal logic is, buddy. So you're like, okay, so how old are you?
Old enough?
Yeah, so you're old enough and a 14-year-old is more educated than you are.
I don't, what do you mean more educated? Who gets to say, who gets to judge if you're more educated?
You just said that Biden's not racist when I gave you three things.
Biden's for the people.
I don't really give a shit.
Biden is literally racist. He literally said he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle. He said the N-word, hard R, 2 times in court. He also said that poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. And he said if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, you ain't black. And you're going to tell me he's not racist.
Yeah, he didn't say any of that.
He also has close ties to a former KKK member. And you're going to tell me he's not racist?
He didn't say any of that.
Yeah, he did.
It wasn't on CNN.
Look it up instead of listening to CNN.
What?
Look it up instead of listening to CNN.
CNN is the gold standard of news.
Yeah, CNN is literally terrible. They're completely biased against Trump.
Name one thing they've said that's biased.
Okay, go back to the 2016 election and look at their facial expressions throughout the election when they figured out Trump was going to win. Look at all their facial expressions.
Yeah, I know. They were worried that the United States was going to crumble.
Yeah, because it's not Trump, hasn't it?
Well, yeah. Look at it now.
Oh yeah, it's really crumbled because
Yeah, look at
Trump's,
it. Look at it now.
Unemployment rate, lowest women unemployment rate, economy hit record highs. Lowest black unemployment rate.
Not right now.
More than 7 million people came off of food stamps.
Right now?
Job openings are up 22.7%. More than 6.7 million jobs created since the election.
Yeah. How many have been lost in the last 4 months?
The only reason jobs are being lost is because people collecting unemployment rate and they're too lazy to go back to work because they get more off the unemployment.
Yeah.
It's the only reason the unemployment is going to be high.
That's not true.
How is it?
Trump's economy crashed, and no one wants to admit it.
Comedy show. Are you yeah, that's why I hit record highs.
How long does that last?
It crashed.
That's why it literally was hit record highs until Corona happened, which the U.S. handled Corona the best out of any other country.
That's not true.
Trump put a travel ban on before the first case even hit the U.S.
Yeah, that was terrible.
How is that terrible?
Because
he got sued for it. He got called racist for it.
Right.
How is that racist?
Because he specifically chose ethnicities to stop traveling to the United States, what he wanted to do all along.
No, he put a travel ban on China because that's where the virus originated. We can't have those people coming into our country right now when they have the virus over
You
there.
can't prove that it originated there.
That's where the first case was.
It doesn't mean that it originated there.
Oh, you're a dumbass, dude. this guy is just.
Sorry. That's kind of.
I'm sorry. I really hope you're joking.
This is not a joking matter.
So you only listen to CNN. You don't think Biden's racist, but you think Trump's racist.
That's the truth.
So you only listen to CNN.
Sometimes MSNBC.
Oh, even worse.
I don't give a shit about both of them.
They're all mainstream media news is always biased. It doesn't matter who it is.
Whichever one we go listen.
Yeah, just like Fox.
Why I don't want. Fox is biased towards Trump. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch mainstream media news because they're all biased.
So, so what are you gonna do when Biden's elected president?
I don't know when that's gonna happen. It might already happen in your dreams, but it's not gonna happen on November 3rd.
Luke, on November 3rd, you should try to find this guy and just fucking see who or some shit. I don't know.
How many times you voting this year?
So you've called Trump racist, but you've given me no evidence. And then I gave you evidence proving that he's not, but you still go ahead and call him racist.
I haven't seen any evidence. It's just you talking.
I gave you facts.
He doesn't know that they're facts.
But you just deny facts.
Yeah, but without hard evidence, you haven't proven anything.
You see, I can
Yeah,
show
let's
empathy.
come on. Let's see your evidence and facts.
No, I'm at you made a bunch of claims that you haven't backed up. Well, just because you think it's facts doesn't mean that's actually facts.
Come on, let's see yours, because you haven't given me one fact.
I understand how he feels. I get it. You're just some random person on the internet, Luke, and you're just saying, like, fucking no one's gonna think it's true until they see evidence.
If you actually did your research, you'd figure out that my facts are facts.
Well, because you said that it's your facts, it's subjective. You have subjective facts. It's what you believe. You have a belief. And that's what you're trying to project on me.
You just said a fact is what you believe.
No, you said that those are my facts. So if they're your facts, that means that it's subjective.
You haven't given a fact. There is no your facts.
That's what you said. You said my facts. You said my facts are right. That's what you said.
No, I said if you did your research, you'd figure out that those are actually facts.
That's not what you said, but
Definitely what I said,
we'll skip over this. No, that's not what you said.
Okay, so you can go listen to CNN some more. That tells you Orange Man bad.
Well, CNN is the gold standard of news. They tell everything without a slant. They tell you just straight up fact, and it's up to you to make a decision on how you feel about it.
There's you can't just make a decision on how you feel about facts. Facts are facts. There's no which are thing. Facts over feeling. But you've yet to give me a fact.
Can
you give me a fact before I give?
Yeah, I gave you a fact.
What was that fact?
It's
What was the fact?
Joe Biden's gonna win in 2020.
Yeah, that's not a fact.
That is a fact.
Bold-faced lie. Oh yeah. So, wait, hang on. So, were you alive when Bill Clinton was in office?
Yes.
So you're gonna put 2 rapists in office if Joe Biden wins? 'Cause Bill Clinton was he is a rapist, and you're gonna put another rapist in Joe Biden in.
I don't know what you're talking about. Bill Clinton was one of the best presidents.
Of course. Bill Clinton was a rapist.
Yeah, we had a surplus as far as, debt goes, we didn't have any. We had a surplus. He was a great president.
He really was a pretty good president, but he's also a rapist.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. He's a rapist. And Joe Biden's also a rapist.
Where's the evidence?
Oh my God. Just do your research and then come back and talk to me.
But that's not evidence.
If you do your research, you'll find it.
All right. Well, I could tell this conversation's going nowhere.
Yeah, because you keep denying facts.
All I could say to you is keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, all I can say is Trump 2020.
You didn't get it. Oh, man. That was hard. That was hard to keep a straight face and say all that junk. Hi.
Live radio.
How you doing?
Huh? Good.
How you doing? What's on your mind?
Fuck Biden. 2020.
No, Biden 2020. What are you talking about? Biden's the most competent candidate we've had thus far. They laughed. Hi. Oh, he's gone. That guy. Hello.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm well, thank you. So what's on your mind?
Just nothing much. Relaxing.
Well, bring up a topic. On topic. What topic?
What kind of topic? Concerning what?
Anything you want.
Oh boy. How about morality?
What about it?
Do you think that there is an objective standard within morality, or is it subjective?
Subjective.
Why?
Because I'll give you an example.
Sure.
Some people think that it's moral to impose the Affordable Health Care Act, Obamacare, with a mandate saying that you must pay for it. No options. Some people think that that's a moral thing to do so then people have insurance. Other people think that that's an immoral thing to do because it's theft and it's forcing people to do things against their will in a so-called free country.
Right. So then who's right?
Well, I know who's right.
How do you know?
I don't have a right to go to your house and mandate you to do something. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
But, so sorry, go ahead.
There you go.
Okay, so what is it? What is that standard you have? What is it based on? Where does it come from? And why is it? What makes it right?
You know,
like
I'll give you a better example. I talked to someone not that long ago, and this particular person was self-proclaimed communist or Marxist, and he was aggravated that people owned houses and the houses were empty. Like if it's someone who is in real estate or something and maybe they own houses but they're not occupied, he wanted to take all the houses that are empty from the owners and put homeless people in it because he didn't want to see homeless people anymore. And what I kept telling him was, you can't solve one moral issue at the expense of another moral. You know what I'm saying? You can't steal things from people because you think it's right that people shouldn't be homeless.
Yeah, it's just like it's a battle between two moral worldviews. But okay, I think I should be a little clarify a little bit more. Like I think I'm really at the root of morality. So if we agree that it's wrong to, go force someone to do something, what makes that standard correct? Like, how do we know it's not simply just subjective interpretation? You know, trying to say like this is right. Like, what makes that standard right?
Because we all have, if I understand what you're saying,
mm-hmm.
we all have free will, and what is important to me and what is important to you are two different things. And the things that are important to you, that you think should be important to me, you don't have a right to mandate that out of me.
Yeah, so it's subjective,
right,
for me and for you. But then when we get into dilemmas or conflicts, who's really right? Or do you simply just not believe?
Nobody.
Okay.
So this is the thing in politics, let's say, where it's we want universal health care where everyone pays into it, and then the other side might say, no, we need this type of health care where it's free market and all that.
Yeah.
Really, there should be no policy on health care. Health care should be like buying a television, where if you're a doctor, you perform a service. I'm a customer who needs your service, so I pay you for it. Like, no different than a television.
Okay. What about things like abortion?
I don't know. That I have no idea.
So you have on one side people who are pro-life, and you have people on the other side who are pro-choice.
Right.
Who's right?
I don't know.
But according to, if you think everything's subjective, wouldn't, in a weird way, they both be right? Because those people who are pro-life are right in their own kind of thinking, and then those people who are pro-choice are right in their own kind of thinking.
Well, all right, so here's the thing. This is why I don't know. Is because nobody has the right to take someone else's life. Like that, there's nothing subjective about that.
Wait, hold on. Whoa, okay. Why? Why isn't there nothing subjective?
Okay, so I work more with like the Constitution, let's say, the United States, where you have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's very interesting how the thought process of how that all came about with the Constitution in the United States is that freedom of speech can't be infringed because it's recognized in the Bill of Rights that it pre-existed the government. Freedom of speech, so did your life. Life pre-existed the government too. So those are rights. Healthcare is not a right. You know, healthcare has to be provided by someone with skills, and speech doesn't. Your life, your right to exist does not. So that's why those are rights and healthcare is not.
You know the term for those kinds of rights?
What?
Unalienable.
I think it's inalienable, and it's more inalienable to where no one can put a lien on your rights.
So
meaning that there's no contract that you can sign that would say you don't have a right to a speedy trial if you sign this contract, or the government can't say because you like the color blue, we're going to hold you for 20 years before your trial. There's no lien that could be put on your rights.
Okay. Interesting. I would argue, though, that have you ever heard of the word tacit consent? TACIT?
Please explain.
So it's a Locke's idea, a Lockean idea of where, so since you and I were born within the last, few decades, we weren't there at the signing of the Constitution, right? We didn't actually sign our name physically. So in a way, we inherit what we are born into. So tacit consent is the fact that I was born into it, but not only that, but I'm complicit with the laws. Means it's a way or a symbolic way of me signing that contract, because what I can do as a free individual is leave the country, let's say, and But since I'm here, choosing to live here, and following the laws, I tacitly agree to, uphold all the promises that the Constitution has. Does that make sense?
So you've adopted the Constitution being in this land. So what about all the laws that go against the Constitution? Isn't it your right to not follow those laws?
Yeah, if they're unconstitutional.
Now, who makes that decision?
The lawmakers, judges, the legislators. I know one example I've heard like this argument between DACA, how some proposed that it was unconstitutional to begin with because DACA was implemented by executive order. And so that whole process to some is deemed as unconstitutional, and he can't do that. But, we live in reality. It was passed, and it becomes very tricky because if you're implementing into law something that's unconstitutional, what is unconstitutional then becomes law. But I guess the principle is it'll always be unconstitutional.
I guess my answer to my question would be the people decide. Okay. Because the police, if you are accused of a crime, the police have discretion, so they don't have to write you a ticket. The prosecutor doesn't have to prosecute, and the jury doesn't have to convict.
Right. Yeah.
Jury nullification?
It's interesting, though, that there's the standard of truth when it comes to, like let's say you're in a trial. The standard of truth in a court of law is not, the actual truth. I think it might even be persuasion. Because who decides whether you're guilty or not? It's the jury, right? So all you need to do is just convince the jury. Let's say, you killed someone, it, and you told your lawyer, like, hey, I'm totally guilty. But he's going to try and get you not guilty. So you or the lawyer's job is to prove your innocence or even convince the jury of their innocence, because all you need to do is convince the jury it wasn't me. I have an alibi. I have evidence that I was another place. And they determine the standard of truth within the law that someone who did kill him, let's say they rule he's not guilty. And then, the judge says, not guilty, you're free to go. Even though he is, actually objectively guilty. But yeah, the unalienable rights, like right to life, liberty, and property, where do those rights come from?
Our creator.
Okay, yeah. That's but so with that said, wouldn't you say that then there is some kind of objective standard that is beyond us? Because we can create laws like, abortion is legal or illegal, but that's within a system of law already. Like, society is already present, and we are deciding whether or not if it's legal or illegal. But things that precede government, things that precede even a contract, maybe, those come from a creator. So that must mean, I think, at least in my head, that there is some objective kind of standard or rule or measure outside, beyond, my opinion, your opinion, my truth, your truth kind of thing. Or would you disagree?
All right, so going back to the jury situation
Sure.
that you said, if the legislature passed a law saying it's illegal to eat onions on Sunday.
Okay.
And you were caught eating a burger with onions on it on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah.
And you went to court and you had a jury trial because it was a 5-year sentence. The jury could say, yes, he did it, but we don't agree with the law. So he's not guilty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that the people were the last line of defense in the checks and balances
Mm-hmm.
in the United States.
Yeah.
So the whole abortion thing, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, it's very, very. It's not easy. It's very difficult.
I mean, on me personally, I wouldn't suggest an abortion. I wouldn't take someone to get an abortion. I wouldn't pay for one.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
me.
think anyone would recommend, especially to someone they love. No one would recommend them to get an abortion. Someone you love to get an abortion.
Yes.
It's just one of those situations where.
Well, some people would.
I guess I want to say a majority of people wouldn't. They wouldn't recommend hey, you should go get one right now.
But the legalities of it, I mean, to me, it's murder. That's just plain out. I feel like I would feel like I was killing somebody if I paid for it or condoned it or whatever. Now, I'm also on the other hand, I know that if it's outlawed, that people could just do it in their houses if they wanted to, which is dangerous to do.
Right.
So in that instance, it's better it's done in a facility where it's safer to do it. So that's where the conflict is. It's kind of like I've gotten into arguments with people over the drug war. Yeah, I get it. Who wants heroin? Sold at a store somewhere. I completely get it. But what we have now is violence on the streets. And to get rid of the violence on the streets, you're probably going to have to sell some heroin in the stores, which I would rather have the violence out of the street than be attacking, than having the war on drugs. It's a trade-off, So I don't know. I don't know where to go with the abortion thing. Me personally, no. But as far as what government should do about it, I have no idea. I don't know.
Well, with that, it seems to me that, let's say when a woman does have a one-night stand, let's say, and she gets pregnant, it seems to me that women have this understanding that because abortion is available to me, they'll treat it like a form of birth control. And so,
I agree. I mean, same with any other form of birth control. Some people use some people use the morning after pill. It's just their birth control.
Plan B.
Plan B is expensive.
It's like $50.
Yeah.
But considering that, how they'll just whatever, I'll just sleep around and I get pregnant. Oh well, I just get abortion. It seems like that's the thinking, because what the data shows is a majority of abortion cases are done for the categorization is convenience reasons. So they tend to group a lot of reasons within that category. So it could be I'm not ready for a kid, I can't afford it, I have other dependents to take care of, or even simply I just don't want one. And so to me, it doesn't seem too crazy. Let's say if it was outlawed, where you would see, it would get them to rethink about their actions a little bit. Instead of fooling around oh shoot, abortion's banned, maybe I gotta at least use protection.
Be responsible.
Be responsible, right?
Well, that's also an argument against welfare, is that you have generations and generations that are on welfare because that's just what the previous generation did and taught the generation currently what to do, to stay on welfare, and that's an argument against it. There's no responsibility in that.
Exactly.
There's no natural economic pressures to make you do things that you otherwise wouldn't do.
Right. things like that remove incentive for me. Like, let's say if you're on welfare and you're getting, you know, a comfortable check, yeah, what's your incentive to want to go out, accept personal accountability and responsibility to find a job for yourself or start a business,
right?
Like to work, you know, just the sole word is responsibility, to take responsibility and do things on your own.
That's what I try to tell the communists that I talk to. They're like, no, there's no money. And I'm like, how do you assign value? Well, it's the amount of work it took. It's like, yes, but that's what money is. It's assigning value based on the amount of time and effort it took.
And labor.
Labor and demand for it. You could put a lot of time and labor into something. If there's no demand for it, well, you're not going to get anything. It's a special skill that you need to have, and that's productive because people want what you have.
Right.
Communism, I ask, so who assigns... It's so weird the answers I get from the people who call themselves Marxist or communists, because capitalism just debunks everything that they say. Free markets specifically.
Yeah.
There's no, like, if we didn't have a government, capitalism could exist. It's not central around a government like other forms of economic policies are.
Yeah, it's the most simplest form of exchange in all of human history. It's where, like, oh, he has gold, I have this. Want to trade? That's what it is.
It's
you know,
barter with a median of exchange. Because the problem with barter is that the person you want to trade with doesn't want what you have, and then you got to go find something that guy wants, and find someone who wants what you want to get what that guy wants. So you could, instead, the median of exchange is something that is acceptable to everybody. Preferably something that in and of itself has value, like gold and silver has, and that came naturally. Paper is not money.
Right.
Yes.
Dang. Yep, I agree.
Right.
Yeah, I was talking to I forgot what the exact wording he used, but he was a communist, and we were getting to this weird rabbit hole of like what constitutes value within labor, and he didn't really have answers for it, or he gave me weird answers that didn't really make sense. So I see what you're saying, where, yeah, they do definitely give weird answers. And I think Marx himself, too, he has a lot of assumptions, actually. But one of the assumptions is that, you know, when the worker's in the factory, he's feeling, what's the word he uses? Alienation. He feels an alienation because all he's doing is the same thing over and over again for 8 hours. But I think what Marx fails to account for is for those people who love their job.
Yes.
You know, like even if they are working 8 hours and it's hard, it's hectic, or even the working conditions are bad, what if it gives them a purpose? And Marx doesn't really cover that idea of how putting your labor into something provides value, utility, and meaning, and even fulfillment.
I think so. I actually have experience in this, having been in manufacturing for many, many years. When it comes to working in a factory, now what I do now is interesting because it actually requires skill and knowledge and know-how with working with machines. But when I started doing exactly what he described, doing the same mundane task over and over again. Yes, it does suck, but it does take a level of know-how, and that's where you learn as well. Yep. Now, there are some people that I've worked with that stood in the same spot for 35 years and did the same thing on repeat over and over and over again, and they loved it. Now, people like me, I don't. I have to do custom work. I have to do something different. That gets boring, but I found my niche in that industry, and I found what I like to do, and I gained the skills and knowledge to do it. So was someone like what intellectuals don't understand is that they have no real world experience. They have observations with their own opinions, and their own opinions come out in their diagnosis for things that aren't even problems to begin with.
Right. Yeah. That's funny. I wish I could tell that to all of my college peers who are, postmodern Marxist and communist, and because it's funny because it was in one of my political science classes, and we were talking about specifically Marx and his manifesto, and a lot of them self-identified as a communist. But then I was like, how many? I forgot. I think because it wasn't the actual professor, but it was his TA leading the class. So it was a lecture kind of type, and he asked, how many people have jobs? And I'm like, and then everyone else does not have a job. I'm like, okay, like what? That means you have no real world experience,
right?
Or even things like how college students will say like, oh yeah, I'm a communist, but they still live at home, like they never lived on their own in their own place, having to pay rent, bills, etc. They don't have that experience,
right.
So they're in a comfortable bubble, yet they're advocating for an ideology that is, completely counter to what they have.
And when they graduate with having to pay back the debt, that further reinforces their communist views. Because they're being hung by a debt noose, and one that some of them will never ever evade. They'll be in debt for their education for the rest of their lives. And that further reinforces that thought, which is completely unfortunate. They instead should realize that contracts matter, that time matters, and spending 4 or 8 years of not getting paid but constantly going into debt is a problem, and that people should not do it unless there is a benefit, a cost benefit of doing it.
Yeah, they I think when was it? It was in my winter quarter. So obviously it's an election year, but a lot of the Bernie supporters, I would go up to them, talk to them, and ask, how do you feel about his idea of wanting to forgive student loans? And he's like, oh yeah, we love it, we support it, like forgive everything. I'm like, well, didn't you? And I tried to get them to talk about the principle of forgiving the loan. So it's like, if I agreed, I signed it, maybe not physically, but you click the button, okay, on your financial aid or something. So you agree to this contract that's saying, we'll loan you X amount and you're going to pay it back with interest. And you go, yep, sign me up. And then, in the middle of their college experience, they say like, oh, you should just forgive it. I'm like, why? You agreed to it. Like, it was your responsibility, and it is your responsibility to pay it back when the time comes, right. 6 months after you graduate. So it's like, and that tells me it's the theme we've talked about. It's just a lack of responsibility.
So I signed a contract with a construction crew for a new roof, which was about $15,000. So should I be forgiven for that if I don't want to pay it?
It was you. You signed it.
Right.
You gotta deal with it.
Contracts matter.
Yeah. There was this video I seen on YouTube where he was asking, different college students, should it be forgiven? They're like, yeah, totally. And then he's like, okay, what about credit card debt? And because their logic with the whole forgiveness of student debt can be applied to the credit card phenomena, where it's like, okay, well, what about credit cards? I'm like, well, that was their own choice. And it's so funny. It's ironic. It's like they're using actual real world things. Like, oh, that was their choice. They chose to spend their money. And then he's like, well, didn't you choose to go to college too? And then, things like that. And they're like, stump them in their tracks.
I didn't go to college. I took 2 classes, and I paid like $1,000 or something for 2 math classes, and decided I hated high school, so why would I do this? And I found manufacturing, which is fine with me. I actually make a good living doing it.
Nice.
I own cars and a house. I do things what I want. I do what I want to do. I have a savings. Not everyone has to go to college. I think that's where schools mislead people. Mislead them in believing they have to go. And it's actually a big problem for us today because I do a lot of interviews and most people aren't really skilled in especially CNC machining. They may have worked in manufacturing, but they're not skilled in it to be able to set up and run programs, set up and run machines. And it's hard to find people who want to get into this trade. It's crazy. The trades are losing out, but the people are losing out too. Most of them that go to college because they end up with worthless degrees and lots of debt. So it's a lose situation, and the government is by and large at fault for this, for government-backed student loans, for doing anything with student loans, because they're government guaranteed. And that's why you see colleges who own entire, like half of cities. They just buy up houses. They buy up blocks of houses, of property. They're building buildings every year, especially around here. Around here, there's a couple of colleges, and like they own half the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what you said about trade, it's dying, and it relates to just how people are students nowadays. They can't even do basic things that were basic in the past. Like they don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to unclog a toilet. They don't know how to do all these things that require physical, like hands-on labor.
But I think what's worse is that they don't want to do it. Like I want to be independent. So what I did when I needed new tires is I bought the rubber, and I actually took the rubber off my rims and put new rubber on. I put new valve stems in, and I did I did it all myself. I do it all myself. I balance them myself. I put weights where they need to go. I do my own brakes. I just redid my exhaust again. When I was doing my muffler, the flange was coming off of the pipe. Well, I got welders. I weld my own stuff back together. So, being able to do that type of stuff, you know how much money that saves you? I save so much money just in doing that stuff myself.
Yeah.
And definitely. I don't even have a prize-winning car. I have a Hyundai, but it has 176,000 miles on it, which I honestly can't believe. Like when I bought the thing, it had 59,000 miles on it, and I figured it was just the throwaway car. Like it wasn't going to be good past 140,000 miles or something. Things blow me away that it's 176,000 miles and it's still rolling.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. And it's I just changed the brakes. The rear brakes for the first time. I think this is the second set of brakes this car has ever seen, and it has a clutch. The clutch is perfect. It doesn't slip. Nothing. I can't believe it, but that also is due to maintenance. Doing the maintenance on it, which that takes learning to be able to learn how to do the maintenance, do your own oil changes and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't have an interest in doing it. Do you have any idea why?
It's probably, or one of the many things is probably due to, okay, so one, I think of lack of discipline. The lack of discipline could come from parenting, because my generation and the one after mine, it's a fatherless generation for one. So I think that's a crucial factor as to why there's a lack of discipline, let's say. It's the avoidance of responsibility. So again, those two go hand in hand, not having a strong upbringing. And I think because of the rapid advancement within technology that has made everything so expedient, where, I don't even have to lift a finger. I could just whatever I want, I can get it within a day or two, delivered to my door. So because, the internet all of it is just so much information within seconds.
Right.
Like we have access to so much information,
which is a good thing too.
There's a good thing for sure. But I mean, it's something so new within our evolution. It's just never before seen where in all of human history, where you have so much access to information, and our brains are not exactly hardwired, to deal with any repercussions or consequences if there are any.
Yeah, but isn't it the type of information that you're looking at? For instance, I had a problem. I had a tree branch. I was having a shed built, and I wanted to get rid of this tree branch that would have been over this shed. And I wanted to do it before the shed was put in. And hiring someone wasn't a choice. So I built this 8-foot platform with a pole saw. But it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel safe to do it. So I went on YouTube, and I'm like, how to cut down a branch. That's really high that you can't reach, even with a pole saw. It's like a chainsaw that's really long. And I don't know why I didn't think about it, or why I didn't think of it. It was mainly just in the moment that I need to get it done because these builders are going to be here. What I found on YouTube was someone who took a chainsaw blade and you cut it so it's not round anymore, it's just straight. You tie a string on both sides, and you throw it over. Well, you throw the chain tied to the rope over, and then once it's over the branch, you tie the other side, and then you just pull both sides of the string, and you saw the branch. And it could be 20 or 30 feet up in the air, however high you can throw to get the chain over the branch, you'll be able to cut it. And that's how I cut this branch down. Now, it took forever to do it because the branch was big, especially by the trunk. But I cut the thing down, and in cutting it down, it destroyed my platform because the branch fell on it. That was fun. But I bring that up, and I give that as an example because that's a productive use of the massive amounts of information that we have. Not only that, the ability to have the materials that you need for a project that you're doing delivered to your house through that same source of information that you're getting. So is it not the availability of information, but instead it's how people are using the technology?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because no, yeah, that's definitely right. A lot of people or young adults, they're just choosing to be unproductive almost in a way, or they don't want to engage in productivity because they're so used to, let's say, dopamine rushes through validation or external validation through, social media or just, a tweet or posting a picture. But also the dopamine rush when it comes to getting things that they want, like products. Because I think nowadays we're consumers now at this point. Like our phone is, the logarithms are programmed to that can tell us what we want based off, past interests, stuff like that. And so because we're consumers, we're kind of lost in the material world too much. So it prevents us from being productive or even producing the desire to want to value things that are meaningful. Because again, since everything is expedient nowadays, we don't want to work for something that'll take years to acquire or attain because it requires time and sacrifice versus something I can get now, like drugs, alcohol, validation.
Now, what you're saying with the phone and consumerism and stuff like that, isn't the majority of that consumption entertainment related?
Yes.
The overwhelming majority. Now, if you were to get something that would actually help you be productive, that would be like a capital good. That would be something that would actually earn you money. And for me, that's tools and welders and and things like that. Like that stuff is just really interesting to me, but also in performing the actions of my interest, I am actually productive. I could be productive with that. And that's not what people are doing. They're like video games for the vast majority of people. That's entertainment. Some people are actually productive in the sense that they provide entertainment to people, which is productivity because there is a consumer. But most people are just consumers of this stuff. They're consumers and they're not productive. So that's a choice in and of itself as well. It's not really the fault of the actual technology that we have.
Yeah, and I don't think it is the fault, just because, the real fundamental issue is the lack of accountability or personal accountability and responsibility that people are not engaging in. It's because it is a choice whether I be productive, in a simple sense, or just engage in video games.
Right.
And it's like my choice. And what tends to happen, a majority of people go for the video games or the Netflix, with binge watching versus, even reading a book, like something that is way more beneficial in the long run. And I think I'll argue that you get more happiness out of, doing something like reading a book, building something over, a video game or watching a movie or watching a whole TV series. And, that the reason why they're choosing the video games, let's say, I have no idea why. It's just like people are just hardwired almost that way, where like people like you who would rather, save money, and you have that in your mind, so I'm going to invest my money and time into things that are useful, that'll make me productive and make my life even more meaningful and fulfilling and happy in the long run. And I don't know entirely why, a lot of people, young adults, tend to gravitate towards things that are just bring that instant dopamine rush.
It's very interesting that you say that, because instant gratification like that is expensive in the long run when you add it all up. But doing things that are productive, that take a long time to achieve, in the long run is beneficial to you. It's just very interesting that people have gone to the instant gratification, because you need a lot of discipline and sacrifice to be able to wait a long time to get the benefit of what you're doing. And that is true, but there's also other things that are involved in that as well. For instance, I guess you could get into, if we're talking about money, and if money is the deciding factor of this, our monetary system is not good. So for the fact of prices continually go up as years go by, and then that's depleting people's savings. And when there is inflation, debt is encouraged in inflation. So that's also helping these decisions as well. Would you agree?
Yeah, I see that. But then, again, we can still go back to, it's a matter of choice, to fall into what they want. Let's say like, it's better to go into debt. And you'll be like, oh, okay. Instead of just like, well, hold on, I don't want to do that. It all comes down to how the person's mindset is. If they want something that is cheaper, let's say in the long run, it's going to require time. And so it's on that person to choose that route. Or if not, they're going to just go like, oh, I'll just pay like $10 every month, 10. Because that's another thing that reminds me too. It's like not a lot of people are thinking long term.
Right.
Or over time.
Yeah.
Like they just see, $10 a month. Oh, that's nothing. But again, a year's worth of $10 a month, that's money you could have, used to something else that you want that is probably more beneficial or more useful than that $10 subscription. to Netflix every single month.
Yeah, I've been paying for Netflix for years, and I haven't watched it once. I kind of feel dumb for doing that.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. It's like they know that the companies, the marketers, they know that because when we, especially subscriptions, we subscribe to it once. Oh, it's only $5, and then when it comes around again, you'll see in your bank statement, oh, it's $5. Oh, that's nothing, whatever. And that's how easy it is to let go of the discipline of like, wait, hold on, let me take a second to think about it, because again, since the mind is within the instant gratification, we just see $5 and like, oh, $5 is nothing. We don't even account for like, oh, I paid $5 for 10 straight months and then I'll continue to pay $5 for 10 more months. They don't think that, and it also like relates back to the debt situation of I agree to take this loan for $10,000 and I'll pay it back with interest after I graduate. They just be like, okay, it's there, it's done. But then they finish school and then it comes and it hits them right in the face. They're like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be that much or something.
Usually $100,000 is. It sounds good when you're not paying for it, but as soon as you have to start paying for it, when you get the first bill, it knocks you over.
Yeah.
Like what? That's more than I make.
Yeah. Reminds me too of there's a joke where the quickest way for a young adult to become a Republican is when they get their first check. And it's funny because I seen 2 viral videos of one guy. He got his first check ever. I don't know how old he was, but it was his first ever check. And he's looking at it and he has this upset face. And then his dad is just laughing. He's like, what's wrong? You thought you were going to get a little bit more? And he's just seeing like, state tax, federal tax, SSI, like, Medicare, like all that. And he's like, what the heck? And then there's another video of this little boy. He's playing Monopoly with his family and he's crying. And he's like, why are you crying? And he's explaining why. And then basically he's like crying because of taxes within Monopoly. He's like, taxes. He's like, oh, like, where'd your money go? Because all his money's gone.
Yeah.
He's like, taxes. He's crying about it. I'm like, there you go.
Yeah.
That's experiencing real world stuff.
Yes.
But we don't see that right away.
Yeah.
Especially like when we're living comfortably, like under, mom and dad's roof, or we don't even have a job. We're just comfortable in our bubble. And I guess I say the people have the audacity to, especially if you're a communist, but you live at home and you never had a job and you're a communist, and I think you need to experience life a little bit more.
Yes.
And then you'll change your mind. And then you'll see what the world for what it really is.
Yeah, or else you get Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah,
she has she was a bartender, but that's not experiencing the real world, being a bartender.
And people go like, oh, she has a degree in economics. I'm like, I don't even have to have a degree to read a study in economics. Like, I don't have to be like,
really, if you don't have a degree in economics, you're a lot better off. To be honest with you, because then you treat government's finances like your own, and you want to balance your checkbook, which is what they should do.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not. Instead, we're all being taxed inflation. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So buy your gold and silver. Let's see. Well, it went down, but it's still $2,048 an ounce.
Yeah.
It's went up. I mean, just a couple years ago, it was $1,600. I think it was down to $1,200 maybe 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, do you wish that the Federal Reserve did not exist?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, the Treasury should print notes if they're going to at all, but really, notes are just receipts. For you trade a valuable, you get a receipt, and then people started using the receipts as a medium of exchange because you didn't have to go physically to the bank and get the object out and then give it to another bank, and it was easier just to trade the receipts. And then somehow we got into this whole thing of we've been duped over generations.
Oh yeah, we've been duped. It's unconstitutional. The Federal Reserve.
Yes.
I heard this really interesting thing.
And the
recently.
IRS. They both were established together.
Mm-hmm. I heard a really interesting thing recently where it's about women's suffrage, or the first feminist movement in 1920. So I don't know how much evidence there is behind this, but apparently they were funded by the Rockefellers. That's the whole reason why they passed. Because if you think about it, it's like women didn't have the right to vote before, or didn't have those rights afforded to them before 1920. So then why did it pass? Like, what was the motivation for getting that to pass? And the crazy thing that I heard was the Federal Reserve was created in 1913.
Right.
So that means, the government has to get its money from taxpayers, but the only taxpayer was 50% of the population, being the men. And it's not even the entire 50, because not every single man in the United States was working or even eligible to work.
In the beginning, it wasn't all people in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was the rich 1%. That's what the IRS was there for. It was for the rich 1%. And then the war came. They're like, well, we're in this war. We all have to be in it together. It was at World War II or something, 1 or 2. And everybody got taxed, and that's pretty much what we're still paying. Like, it's not paying for that. It's just that they had never stopped taking money when they said they were going to. Am I correct about that?
I think you are, yeah.
Okay.
And that was one of, so in 1920, they figured, oh, well, we could just tax, the rest of the 50% of the population. So now you're taxing men and women to get more money to pay these central banks, because they loans were taken out right away from the Federal Reserve. And that's the craziest thing. It's like these banks are privately owned.
Yes. By
like 2 families. The entire world is basically run by 2 families. Rothschild. It's just insane. Like, all the central banks privately owned.
JP Morgan.
That's where all these things come from.
The debt note.
Yeah, it is insane.
The Federal Reserve debt note.
Crazy.
It is crazy. So yes, I am for ending the Fed. I wish that they would be audited. That would be interesting.
Oh yeah.
There was talks of doing it, but I knew that was never going to happen. I think it was maybe like 4 years ago or whatever. No, not 4.
Yeah.
It was 4. No, it was 8 years ago. They were talking about auditing the Federal Reserve, which would have been great, but they didn't like that idea.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, though. It's like, you're elected. Congratulations. Oh, can I talk to you for a second?
Right.
I have an offer for you. Here's like, $30,000 a month. Don't do that. Don't audit it.
Right.
And it's just really corruption. And it's just crazy. Like, the more you find out, it's weird.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Well, why don't you do a podcast or something? Talk about all these issues.
I've seriously thought about it.
You should.
Just talking about different issues. But the thing is, like, I don't know. I kind of would want... Well, I don't know. I haven't really put too much thought into it. But yeah, it seems like a fun thing. Like, I would totally love to just talk about all kinds of different issues, politically or philosophically.
You should. You could live stream it.
Yeah. What do you need for a live stream?
A microphone.
Mm-hmm.
A sign that says live radio. Also, for instance, audio equipment.
Oh, wow.
Like this, like a mix board, so then you can mix a whole
yeah.
bunch of things together. Then you could get software for it, like OBS is free. I mean, I've paid for software, but you don't have to. You can get OBS.
I've heard of OBS before.
That does video, but you could also just do audio if you wanted to. With there's internet radio providers, but everything's video nowadays. So that would be
what
the
kind
way to go.
of microphone do you have?
This one's Audio Technica.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the model. It's pretty old. I got like 5 of them, 4 or 5 of them.
Nice.
I think I
and
got
then
5.
your headphones.
Yeah, but you're gonna want a limiter compressor, whether you do it software or not. I like hardware. Limiter compressor makes all your audio a max decibel, and then it also compresses it because music drowns out voice. So if I were to play something, it sounds completely different to the end user who is listening to it than what I would hear like in my headphones. And you notice it. It's crazy the difference between no limiter compressor and having a limiter compressor. It's a big difference.
Yeah, I know it firsthand because I mix music. So when you put the limiter on, it's a big difference.
And then you also don't have to worry about decibels too, like things that blow my ears out. The people who are listening, they don't hear that. They hear the noise, but they don't hear the variations in audio levels. So that's a big thing as well. So you could just play random things and not really care how loud it is because it's going to sound pretty even. So
that's nasty.
It is. It's nasty, those limiter compressors.
It's nasty.
Yes.
That's cool, man.
Big deal.
So
where do you get? How do you get those? Like those sound bites?
I recorded them all.
Oh, okay.
Spent a lot of time doing that.
And are they what? They're just in a big file, and then you just click to play?
I have a web page that I created that has buttons on it. So if I'm talking to someone, and then also there's soundboards out there too that you could use.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun as well. Doing those randomly, and some of them actually make sense. So yeah, that's pretty much that. But I have them labeled, like this one.
Denied.
I knew what that was going to be because I've used it a lot. Well, not recently, but I used to use the soundboard a lot. But I pretty much only use it to like tell people where I'm broadcasting.
Okay.
That's about it. So I'll say like, you're live on shitradio.com.
I'm on shitradio.com. Get it, baby.
And ring my bell. There you go.
It's like a radio.
Right.
Exactly like radio.
Shitradio.com. I actually own that domain name.
Nice.
Yes. It goes to TrueBigShow.com. That's where it goes.
True Mix?
Treubig.
Oh, Treubig.
Yeah. But if you type in shitradio.com, it'll take you there.
Let's see. I'll do that right now.
Okay. And there's a phone number associated. I think, I don't know, I guess there was a hiccup in the connection. Hopefully that you you're able to pull it up, and if you press play on the video, then you'll hear us.
Nice.
Yes.
Some Inception stuff.
Right. All right.
Is
well,
it?
Huh?
Oh, I was just gonna ask. Is there a delay usually when you're live?
Well, yeah, I have
for the viewer.
Yes, because I have an internal delay for getting rid of things like a dump. You know what I'm saying? So, if you were to say your full name or address or something, I would press this button and there would be like silence while that is not being it's not being broadcast. So there's I have an internal delay, but yes, with video broadcasting there is a little bit of a delay.
Nice.
I notice it in the in the chat room as well. When I say something, it shows up 30 seconds later.
Oh yeah. Or like they're agreeing, like, oh yeah, that's true,
Yeah.
but they're 30 seconds behind.
Well, if you want to, you can log in, and I'm in the chat room now. I have a phone number too, toll-free phone number. That was.
Ding.
I'll give you the bell. That was an accident. I accidentally hit this bell a lot.
Where's the chat?
You gotta log in. Okay, there's the bell. You gotta log in. There's a chat in there, and then there's a phone number too. So if you wanted to call the phone number, then you could talk to the Marxists.
The Marxists.
Yes.
And the 18 through 25-year-old communists.
Yes.
Who, yeah, they want America turned on its head.
Right.
Nice. I will definitely check it out.
Alrighty. Thank you. I appreciate it. Definitely a good talk. You got a good head on your shoulders. Don't mind all the pro Joe Biden stuff that I was saying earlier. 'Cause, I was getting these I don't know, they're I think 14 years old is what he said. He had Trump everywhere, and I was like, Biden 2020. I said that CNN is the most reputable news source there is. Don Lemon's the best journalist.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was saying some terrible things.
Have you actually ever seen though any Biden merch anywhere? I haven't seen it.
I mean, I
like,
guess
you know, a shirt, a hat, a sign.
It'd probably say no malarkey.
Right?
Yeah.
No malarkey.
No malarkey. There's no malarkey here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's probably asleep right now.
Yes. Sleepy Joe. Doesn't know what day of the year it is.
Or where he's at.
Yes. He's forward looking to the debate.
Oh man, he's
With
gonna get
Donald
crushed. Poor guy.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. What's the world gonna look like with President Joe Biden if that happens?
Who knows? Like, he's gonna forget, like, to go on a White House press conference or something.
Oh, he'll forget that he's president.
Yeah, he's like, where's Brock at? He's looking for a ball. He's like, where's the president at? Oh, it's me. I knew that.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully I see you in the chat room.
All right.
I'm going to continue talking to people, so you're welcome to listen or not listen or chat or not chat or call or not call. It's up to you.
All right. Of course.
Freedom and liberty, right?
Yes.
Take the liberty to have some freedom. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you go. It was good chatting.
Yeah, likewise. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. There he goes. There he goes. Good guy. Smart. Intellectual. College didn't get to him. Like it has some people. Hello. College.
We both like racism. What's up?
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
What's happening?
Nothing much.
What's on your mind?
Racism.
All right. What about it?
Bad.
Why?
Cause not good.
That's not an answer.
It's just racist.
How? How is racism racist?
Well, you see, racist.
All right. Anything else?
No. Why does it say live radio?
I thought you said no.
No, I mean, what?
I thought you said no. When I asked, is there anything else? You said no, but then you asked something else.
Okay.
So what is it? What is it? No, or no? There's nothing else, or yes, you have something else.
Yes, I have something else.
Okay, what?
Well, why does it say live radio? What's happening?
Because the radio's live.
Okay. Racism is bad.
Anything else?
So you put in racism in Omegle.
No, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Right.
Because I was expecting a bunch of ching chong things. This one guy with a Confederate flag was like, "You mess with America, you mess with me." And I'm like, oh my god.
Are you in America?
Yes.
Okay. Good for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know, I really love Chinese buffets.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not Chinese.
I'm actually bummed out that I can't go to them right now.
Yeah, I'm actually really racist towards Chinese people. I don't like them.
Yeah, but they have great buffets. You have to admit that the all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet is. I love Chinese people for that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yes, he's gone. That was not what he was expecting. Hi. Goodbye. Whatever. Hello. It's a college person. Hello.
Yo.
How you doing?
I'm alright. Yo, I was just taking a guitar pick out of my mouth. You know, I was holding it like this, you know? And some kid goes, fuck vaping, and just skips me. I was like, what?
Huh.
Yeah, live radio, huh?
Wow.
Am I live?
Yes. Yeah. Wait, so you are vaping?
I am actually vaping, yeah, but I was just taking the guitar pick out of my mouth.
Oh, and he didn't like that, I guess. You thought you were vaping a guitar pick?
I mean, I guess that's how that works.
That's the thinnest vape I've ever seen. Yeah.
Some impressive technology right there.
Now, would you like a vape that small?
No.
Why? What if it gave you the same hit on the back of your throat?
Because the thing about guitar picks is you always fucking lose them.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could just buy like a pack of 100 little guitar pick vapes.
Alright, well, I mean, I could kind of see how that would be cool, but in reality, I would just get sick of losing them.
Yeah, but it could your guitar pick could double as a vape.
See, I don't know if I'd want to slap some strings with my vape, though. That's the thing. Well, like, what part do you put your mouth on? Because either way, I don't want to vape my finger sweat, and I don't really want to vape rusty metal on the end of a fucking...
You don't want to be picking some strings, and then when you're on, like, a hanger, you just take a quick hit of your pick, and then you get right back to it. Right.
Like,
yeah.
No. I mean,
think of what Jimi Hendrix could have done if he had a guitar pick vape.
That's not right. Like, I don't think that the two, like, it's a cool idea, but it's just not meant to be, man.
So there's some things that aren't meant to be, that we shouldn't do.
We just shouldn't do that.
Huh. That's interesting. There are a lot of things that we shouldn't do, but we do them anyway.
Exactly. That's why that's probably something that's going to be invented sometime in the future.
The guitar pick vape?
Yeah.
I'm going to be really pissed off when I see the guitar pick vape on store shelves.
You're going to be like, that could have been fucking
That was me. I invented that. Well, I didn't invent it. I thought it up. That was my idea. I need to buy stocks in guitar pick vapes before it even exists.
Yeah, I was about to say, you should probably just invent it and get a lot more money than stocks. You should invent it and then buy your own stocks.
Yeah. It'd be like a pump and dump scheme. I make deals with stores to sell my guitar picks, and then I just buy them all.
Profit.
Right. Yeah, and my stock goes way up. Because the stores are sold out, but I'm the one that bought them all. See, nobody actually has one, except for me. I just have them all, but they're flying off the shelves.
So you're manufacturing them. You're just buying them right back.
I'm just buying them back, and no one actually has one. But the stock price is through the roof because they're flying off the shelves. You gotta think of
it that way, though.
Yes.
In order to make your own profit. Like, you'd be losing money because you'd be producing them for less than buying them for more. It's just a continuous cycle of you losing money.
Yeah, but shouldn't you be worried about the stock market? See, if the stocks go way up because they're flying off the shelves, even though no one is actually getting one, they're being sold. But that's all that matters to the stock market, right? Is that sales is happening. So when people invest in the stock market, you could make money there. And to be honest with you, you don't even have to make the guitar pick vapes. If you just sell the store boxes with nothing in it, and then I just buy the boxes from them with nothing in it, we could just say that there's guitar pick vapes in there. No one actually will see them or will have them, but the stocks will go through the roof.
There's something illegal about that.
You think that's illegal?
I don't know what's illegal about it, but there's definitely something illegal about that.
So I actually have to make a guitar pick vape before we can execute this plan legally.
Maybe just like one.
One? So I put one in a box. And then I
fill
just
the box up with a bunch of random shit you have in your house. Tell them not to open it, sell them as one unit.
And I keep circulating the one box around.
Yep.
So I could buy the one box from the store 1,000,000 times and say there's 1,000,000 sales.
Yes.
Huh. So then I wouldn't actually be losing money because I'd be selling it to the store, then the store would be selling it to me. Well, they mark it up, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I meant by like you losing money in that. That's why you lie about the manufacturing price.
Yes.
Say that it costed you like $20 to produce one of those picks, and then when in reality it would cost you like 100, and then have them sell it to you for like 75.
Yeah. You made money.
You make $25 every single time you sell that pick.
Per pick. Yeah.
But actually, no. Actually, you just gain $75. Or wait.
So if I sold it to the store for
actually no
$100,
no, because
they would mark up what I sold it to them for.
Yeah. So then you'd buy it, but then you can keep buying it, but then you're not actually.
Yeah. So if I manufactured it for $20, $25, and I sold it to the store for $75. And then they sold it to me for $100. That means that I actually made money because I made $25.
It would have to be the other way around.
And I paid $50.
You would have to sell it to them for like 50 when it costed you 25 to make it.
Yes, and then they sell it to me for 75, and I break even.
You make more because it only costed you 25 to make the pick.
Yeah, but I had to pay them the markup.
Oh fuck. Yeah, but still.
So I would be breaking even. So if it cost me 25, I sold it for 50, and they sold it to me for 75. That would break even, right?
I'm trying to think. No, it'd have to be the other fucking way around. I'm trying to. You'd have to say that the manufacturing. You'd have to sell it to them for more than what you made it for.
Right. So if I made it for 25 and I sold it to them for 75. And then they sold it to me. Or if I made it for 25 and I sold it to them for 50, and they sold it back to me for 75.
You'd break even. Yeah.
I'd break even.
And then the second time you would make You would make.
I would always break even.
Would you?
Yeah.
Hey, fuck. No, because then you would have.
The only thing you'd be making money on is the stocks, because everyone would think you're making money.
That's what we want, right?
Right.
That's the
so
end
you
game
want
here.
you want to break even all the time in the actual sales, but make a lot of sales, so then there's stock.
Yeah. There you go.
That's it.
Easy peasy. Done.
Right. Yeah.
Shit.
It didn't even take a calculator.
No, we just took two idiots.
Rambling.
Figured it out.
Making addition a lot harder than it had to be.
Yeah. Just basic, like, 4th grade algebra. Oh, man.
Well, I guess we're in the business of guitar pick vapes.
I guess so.
Oh, are we business partners?
We are.
Wow. Shake on it? So, being business partners, what does our operating agreement look like?
It's just not. We just don't worry about any of that.
No? Yeah, we can bypass it. It's not required.
That will just fucking.
It's not. You don't need an operating agreement. You don't need to plan anything.
No.
No.
See, you're literally selling a guitar pick to a store and buying it back from them. What is there to plan? It's not...
So, do you think we could get, like... You know what? We could do this on Amazon. We wouldn't even need to make a... Wow. We wouldn't even need to make the pick, would we? We would just tell Amazon it shipped.
Oh, yeah, because we could just buy it off each other.
Yeah.
And then you don't...
Sales is all that matters.
That's true. Yeah, you could do that because if I'm buying it, I know I'm not expecting the pick to come. You could just keep listing it, and I'll just keep buying them. Just fucking...
Well, you have to send a box because, you know, you have to send
me
something.
You can send me an empty box. It's
an
fine.
empty box.
Oh, wait. Well, then we need to take into consideration the cost of the boxes and shipping of the box.
Yeah, that is true.
Do you think would they mail an empty box? Like if you gave somebody an empty box, you're like, "Yo, mail this to like Nevada." Do it.
Yeah, they would do that.
You think like the mail delivery guy would just be like,
yeah, it would just
like, what the fuck? Like,
well, they would weigh it, and there's probably a minimum amount you have to pay for shipping, but they also go on size too. So
right,
I mean, if we
the smallest box we could find,
we get them we get one of those little tiny ones about the size of your finger, guitar pick. You could a postage stamp would be bigger than the box.
You'd have to wrap it around the edges.
Yeah.
Where would you put the shipping label?
Conspiracy to commit fraud. Yeah, that's what someone's saying that we're doing right now. Yeah, but now I did have a question. That would be fraud because we would break even. Our company would not have no profits. How are we going to do this?
We also wouldn't be in debt, though.
But we would have millions and millions of sales with zero profits.
That's because we could say all the money we make, we put right back into the business.
Capital goods.
Non-profit organization.
We could do non-profit. There we go. Now, can you have stocks on a non-profit? Like, is the breast cancer organization, do they have stock? You have stock in... What do you have stock? I have stock in breast cancer.
I don't know where...
I don't know how this is going to work. We had a great idea, then it just... I think we realized that reality may not work.
That it's an amazing idea, but it's just not meant to be.
And we're back to our original point that some things just aren't meant to be.
Yeah. And another point that like that there's something illegal about that.
There probably is.
Like I can't point out what is illegal, but you know something's just you're not allowed to do that.
But like
you're not going to be that guy fucking show me the law. Show me the law.
Can you imagine how much your neighbors would hate you if they found out that you have stock in cancer?
I feel like I would be more worried about hating myself. It's like you're literally you're making money off of somebody else being sick.
Right, off of someone else's misery.
That is so messed up.
That is kind of messed up. Not kind of, totally.
Yeah, like you should probably just die
of cancer.
Oh my god! Actually, you know what? Yeah, it's probably just coming to you at that point. You deserve it.
Yeah, true. Wow. Whew, that was a mind fuck, wasn't it?
Wow.
We went a lot of places that ended up not working out.
Well, some places we probably shouldn't have gone.
Yes.
But you know what? It's too late. Can't look back.
No, what's done is done. And the only thing we can do is learn from it. So what lessons have we learned?
What could you learn from that?
I don't know. I mean, it always worked out in South Park.
All right. Well, I mean,
Stan always had something to learn.
what the fuck? What kind of lesson could be taught from from vape guitar picks and cancer patients and making money off of them? What can you learn from that?
That just because vaping and guitar picks are cool doesn't mean that they go together.
What about the whole cancer part, though?
Oh, I don't know. Vaping guitar picks causes cancer.
Everything just intertwines perfectly.
Right. It all comes full circle.
Yeah.
It's the circle of life right there.
Vaping, guitar, and cancer.
Yes.
That's all life is.
Right. Now, this is an amazing business plan that we should totally write out and send to a lawyer. Wait, we don't want to do that. The conspiracy to commit fraud might...
No, yeah, we got to just do it solo.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs.
Right. Now, here's an idea. We don't need to invest in the stock market in the United States. We could go foreign.
Okay.
Like Iran, Iraq. We could do our fraud over there. I mean, our business plan over there.
Right.
Yes, without any consequences. Do they have a stock market in the Middle East?
Yeah, there's the worldwide, stock exchange. Like there has to be.
Well, we can't go worldwide.
Well, no, but I mean, the fact that there is a worldwide makes me believe that other countries have their own separate stock markets.
Well, I don't
know. Can you have a stock market in a non-capitalistic government?
I don't know.
I feel like you can't.
I mean, you don't really have to have a stock market per se.
No, this is too much thinking.
Yeah, now we have to get out the calculators. That's what we're avoiding.
We're getting Google and the calculators out now. I'm not doing that.
Yes.
All right. Well, I mean, that was an interesting topic. I'm going to keep moving on.
Sounds good.
Good luck with your little show.
Thank you. It's shitradio.com.
Shitradio.com?
Yeah, I'll give it to you official. You're live on shitradio.com.
I'm on shitradio.com. Get it, baby!
Always full of surprises.
Oh, I love it. Oh my god, that's awesome.
It goes to another site, TrueBigShow.com.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, it was nice talking to you, man.
Yeah, good talking to you. Talk to you later.
I hope to pursue this business plan.
Yes. Well, hey, when you see guitar pick vapes on store shelves, you're gonna know who did it.
I will.
It's not gonna be me.
I'll know who didn't do it.
Right. That was probably the better choice of words. All right. Later. There he goes. Moving right along. I can't do it. Music. Can't do the music thing. And here we go. Maybe. Hello. Nope. Not. Hi. How you doing?
MAGA.
With 2 A's or 1?
Let me see. 1, 2. Add the 3 divided by 4. 5. Take away 6. I think 3.
So you're for Make America Great Again?
Yeah.
Because America was great again, but then the Democrats got a hold of it. So now we need to make America great again.
Well, it's because like I don't know what happened. I guess like some guy named like Trump got mad at like Israel or something. So I don't know.
I don't either.
I just like saying MAGA because it sounds cool.
MAGAA?
Yeah.
Make America Great Again Again?
Well, like, yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
I think something that should be introduced into the American education system should be the talk of the Luniverse.
All right.
Do you know
Anything
what that
else?
is? Do you know what the Luniverse is?
What's that?
Well, Trump actually endorsed it before he became president. So
cool.
I'm confused if you don't know.
All right, I'm all for it. Anything else?
Okay, just look up Luna, and then like all about Trump will pop up.
Cool.
Just look up Luna. Yeah.
All right. Yep.
L
Of course.
O N A.
I'll do that right now.
L-
All right, I promise.
Right now.
I'll do it right now.
Luna.
All right. Yep. Sounds
Okay,
good.
bye.
Bye. Jesus Christ, I'm not looking it up. Hello.
You just said
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Politics. Are we live on radio?
Right now, yes. What's on your mind? Bring up a topic.
No, you bring up a topic. You
No,
first.
it's tradition here for the guests to bring up a topic.
Okay, bring up one.
Yeah.
Break tradition.
All
Be
right. So I want to bring up the topic of what's on your mind.
That's so funny. I'm waiting for my friend Live Radio to choose a topic.
Yeah. All right.
I'll play devil's advocate.
Limestone.
Try again.
What kind of limestone do you like?
The lime one. What's your favorite? Tell me first, and then I'll respond.
Oh, I have limestone in my driveway. It's good stuff. Have you ever bought some limestone?
I know. That's the last thing I'd ever do.
Yeah, I highly doubt that. If you buy a house that has a gravel driveway, you probably buy some limestone.
Why would I get a gravel driveway? I think I'd get some. I think I'd get a paved driveway.
Yeah, well, a paved driveway could cost you like 15 or 20 grand, and gravel might cost you $500.
Pocket changer on these
That's
parts.
a bunch of cat.
Pocket changer on these parts.
Right. All right. Well, I brought up a topic. Now it's your turn.
What do you feel about abortion?
I have no idea.
Okay. What about guns?
Now you bring up.
Ban them all. Ban them all.
Really?
Yes.
You legitimately think that?
All of that. They should all be taken off the streets and burned.
Then the bullets will fire.
Okay. What if people get them illegally?
That won't happen if they're banned.
That's the stupidest thing ever.
What if I say
methamphetamine's banned? People get methamphetamine.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Yep, it's illegal, but people still do it.
Why do you think they do that?
Because
they're addicted to meth.
What?
If someone wants to get a gun, they will get a gun, and they.
How so?
Bro, the black.
You're really dumb.
Yeah? Says who?
The guy Ryan. That guy.
What is your credentials?
Cop. He's a cop.
He's a cop?
He's 18, male, and a recent high school graduate.
Oh. Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Oh, did you drop out of high school?
It doesn't mean anything that you're on the radio or whatever.
Right. So I have more credentials than you do.
He goes, all right. He goes,
I have more real life experience than you do.
No,
Experience with what?
If we
Life.
added all our age and different experiences, I bet we'd have more experience.
And they're gone. Sometimes you just have to let them shit on you. Just for fun. Hello. And bye. Just to see what they would say. Hello.
Holy shit, live radio. Are you
Right. So what's on your mind? Bring up a topic.
live? Faggots.
It's not a valid topic.
What's a valid topic? I'm willing. I'm up for anything.
All right,
What's the last
bring
person
one
you
up.
talked to? Do women deserve rights?
What do you think?
I don't know, man. I'm asking you.
I just asked you. You brought up a topic, and I asked you what you thought.
What radio station are you?
I'm asking you, what do you think about the topic that you brought up?
I think it's wonderful and good and excellent.
What is?
Everything. What the? Are you like have a YouTube channel? Or
Shit radio.
Shit radio?
Yes.
Okay.
.com.
Broadcast. Shitradio.com. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So, what's your politics? What do you do?
That's not a valid question.
What is a valid question?
A topic. A policy.
Okay. What do you think about democracy? Is democracy good or bad?
Bad.
Okay, good. We're on the same page. So,
what form of government is good?
One that understands basic political realities. One that actually, one that is able to sway public opinion and make the people a reflection of itself, rather than try to entail some sovereignty of the masses, which isn't a real concept. Which is bullshit. You know, if you have like a Republican democracy the way I have now, basically you're giving power to a small group of financial interests, which control the media, which control the NGOs, which control the think tanks, which actually influences public opinion. So, you know, there is no such thing as democracy because most people simply don't have agency.
Yeah, but democracy is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're supposed to be a constitutional republic. That's not a democracy.
I mean, irrespective of whether it's a constitutional republic, anything where people vote on things is either denying reality or completely redundant.
No, not in a constitutional republic.
No, constitutions is the worst form of statecraft because it actually creates a barrier for genuine elite action, which either creates leaders which drink their own Kool-Aid, or alternatively, it chooses for underhanded liars. Because in order to do what a government has to do to be necessary, you have to go beyond the Constitution. You have to go beyond this arbitrary set of rights. So you're choosing for underhanded liars. And also, a democracy turns your country into a de facto critarchy ruled by judges, ruled by the people who decide what is constitutional and what isn't.
So you're for no government.
I'm for government that isn't bullshit.
Constitutional republic, when actually put in practice, would be just that. Do we follow our?
What do you think about what I just said?
Do we follow our Constitution?
Irrespective of that, what do you think of what I said?
I'm asking if you think that we follow our Constitution.
It's a nonsense question.
Why?
But what do you think about what I said?
I'm going to answer that once you answer this question that I asked. You said it's a nonsense.
Shitradio.tv?
Com.
Shitradio.com.
Yes. You said it's a nonsensical question. Why?
Follow the Constitution. Follow what interpretation of the Constitution?
I mean, we know the interpretation of the Constitution. Like, it's pretty obvious. Right?
If it was obvious, then the America's little system wouldn't be having the problems.
The interpretation. All right, so let's take the Fifth Amendment. Eminent domain. So, what did eminent domain mean?
It means the government can come up to you and say, "I'll give you this amount of money for your property," and you have to accept it. But irrespective of that, what do you think of what I said?
No, so I'm getting to what you asked based on this. So, So, what does the taking of property have to What do they have to do? Is it for public use or private use?
It's the government is buying the property. It's public use.
It has to be for, so they can't just buy it for their buddy.
I suppose not. Let's just say.
Okay,
no.
so I have a question for you that is part of this. So, eminent domain is where government comes to you and says, "We're buying your property," and according to the Constitution, there is a jury trial, but there is court, but the court is just to decide how much money the property is worth that the government's going to give to you, not that if you should keep the property or not. It was supposed to be with a jury.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that could it be interpreted maliciously that a government could say that you, as the owner of this property, a residence, you do not give us as much tax income as this company would if we put this company here and kicked you out. And because they're paying more in taxes, that is a benefit to the public, and therefore it fell in eminent domain.
You're asking me, could the Constitution be interpreted in such a way as to give someone an unfair price for the property that they're declaring eminent
That's
domain
not what
on?
I said.
Is that what you're asking me?
No. So if a store, a company wanted your property that your house is on, and they went to the government and said, use eminent domain to get that property, they shouldn't be able to do that, correct?
That's not what eminent domain is.
Okay, but here's an argument. Here's an argument that the government can only take property if it's going to benefit the public. And
okay, but you can interpret it however you want. That doesn't matter. What do you think?
Yes, it does. It's relevant to what we're talking about.
Are you saying that the Constitution can't be interpreted in that bad way, so Constitution is good? What are you talking about?
Words can be interpreted any way, no matter how you write them down.
What's the point
That's the point I'm making, is that eminent domain can be used in a malicious way, that a government can take your property and give it to a business because the business will pay more taxes, and they consider the tax revenue as a benefit to the public, not necessarily that the property is going to be used in the benefit of the public.
So you're agreeing with me?
I'm asking, is that an interpretation that could be made?
I'm sure it is.
Okay. So then, yes.
Wait, so you agree with me that that's an interpretation that could be made, therefore that would be a failing of the constitutional system? You're agreeing with me there?
No, it's not a failing of the constitutional system.
You're agreeing with
because
me
the constitutional system had intent in the words that they wrote down. No matter how we write the words on a sheet of paper, an interpretation of that specific, I can give a specific example of the zoning department of the zoning department.
No, I'm not
where
your
I'm
example,
living
okay?
right now.
No, hold on.
The zoning department
you're using
interpreted
a lot of words to say very little. You're using
the zoning department interpreted the zoning laws that I was inquiring about in a different way than they actually were meant when they were wrote on the sheet of paper.
According to whom?
According to the people who wrote it on the sheet of paper.
No, according to whom are saying that is the will of those who wrote it on the sheet of paper.
I didn't say that. I said that the guy who was in charge.
I'm just asking you what you said.
The guy who was in charge of zoning interpreted the zoning regulation incorrectly.
I'm asking you a question. According to whose judgment was that the intent of the people who wrote the Constitution, that they disagreed with what was happening with the zoning laws today? That they would disagree with it?
I never said that.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. Okay. You said that the intent of the people who wrote the Constitution was a certain thing. Who is it who made the judgment that the people who wrote this or that in the Constitution had this or that intent? Was it you? Was it someone who you agree with politically? Was it the government itself? Was it the people, quote unquote? Who? Who said that this was the intent of such and such, Thomas Jefferson, not Thomas Jefferson, whoever the fuck else who wrote the Constitution? Explain it to me. Who?
Oh, they wrote about it. So they wrote their interpretation of the words that they meant.
That doesn't answer my question. That just repeats the same thing you said. Who says?
No, I never said
okay,
that.
Let's say no. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say the writer of the Constitution, he said the sky is blue, or let's say he said 2 + 2 = 4, and he wrote it in the Constitution. It could be anything. It could be any number of things. Who says that this was their intent in writing that? They said that. I'm not saying that they didn't have an intent. I'm saying, who is judging the intent that is influencing your political beliefs, thereby you telling me this now?
They did.
Who?
The people who wrote it.
So? Okay, let's entertain that. So what?
Elaborate?
No, let's entertain that. Let's forget about who says who let's forget about the point I was making where I'm asking you who says that the writers had this or that intent. What does it matter if their intent can be known as precisely as you think, and it's not interpretable? Who cares if their intent is concrete? The point is they can make that argument and they have the power. So what you don't really have a leg to stand on here. And that proves my point, which is another point that I made before, that constitutions choose for underhanded liars because it creates a barrier to genuine lead action. So they need to go beyond the Constitution.
You're saying a whole lot of words that make absolutely no sense.
Okay. Okay, the floor is yours then. Explain to me something about constitutions or why you believe in constitutional republic.
Okay, so what I was saying before is that there's zoning regulations where I live.
Okay, forget the zoning regulations. Talk about something else. You're getting really hung up on this.
The zoning enforcement guy interpreted something in the zoning regulation incorrectly.
How do you know it's incorrect? Who says it's incorrect?
Well, it's subjective because that's his interpretation.
Oh, it's subjective now. It's subjective now. There you go. There you go. You understand my point. You just understood my point. It's subjective. So in other words, whoever has the power, whoever's at the top of the hierarchy in the constitutional government is the one who's going to be interpreting it, and their word matters. That is why constitutions are the worst form of statecraft.
Incorrect.
It's false.
Incorrect.
Why? Why?
Because the original drafters have interpreted it in a certain way, and that's the way that it should be interpreted.
Were you there?
They wrote about it.
The original drafters interpreted it in a certain way, and that's the way it should be interpreted.
According to you.
Okay, so in the area where I live, there's zoning regulations, right?
I'm going to argue.
And the zoning enforcement
guy,
guy,
how you're arguing right now.
He interpreted the zoning regulation that I was inquiring about incorrectly.
I went to fuck this girl one time, and she interpreted me as her not wanting to fuck me. But, you know, her interpretation of my intent was wrong, so she should have fucked me. And I'm sorry, but who cares?
So the
Who cares if you
drafter,
think-
the person who drafted, and the intent
What motivation do they have
of
to
the
lend any
draft
credence
of
to your
the zoning
interpretation of
regulation,
the
that would be the
intent of
interpretation that should be
the
followed.
Constitution? Okay, what motivation do they have to lend credence to your belief of the intent of the people who wrote the Constitution?
Oh, it's not my belief. It's what
I don't give a
was
shit
their
whose belief
intent.
it is. What motivation do they have?
Well, they wrote the Constitution.
I don't give a shit who wrote the Constitution. What motivation does the government have to follow the Constitution in accordance with how you or whoever the fuck else believes was the true intent? And don't you dare fucking say you don't understand what I'm saying. You do.
It's how they wrote. It's what they wrote about. Their intention of the Constitution and their intent.
Okay, you're doing something called. Okay, what? How much is 2 plus 2? Well, a triangle has 3 sides. You're not answering my fucking question, man.
Yes, I am. It's the original
No,
founders'
you're not.
intent of the Constitution. That's what should be followed.
Shitradio.com, is it like no spaces, no capitals?
Right. You can't do capitals in a domain name.
Shitradio.com, nothing's coming up. Is it? I'm using Bing. Should I use Google? Is it?
Why would you use any of them?
I'm looking up your website, man.
Yeah, why would you use Bing or Google or Yahoo? Why would you use any of them? Just type it in the URL bar.
I'm trying. It's www.shit.
Like when you look at porn, do you go to Google first?
Okay, it's going to something called the Treubig Show. Is that you?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay, see, I found you. Is it okay? So I'm clicking the live feed. Live. Yeah, it's loading. What were we talking about again? Oh yeah, constitutions. Why aren't you answering my question, man?
I did.
No, you didn't. You just kind of repeated yourself. I'm gonna ask my question one more time, and you better have some kind of answer.
Or else what?
Or else I'm done with this conversation.
All right.
What motivation does the current government have for lending credence and acting in accordance with your interpretation of the Constitution, which you believe is in accordance with the true intent of the people who penned it?
Oh, it's not my interpretation. It's
I don't give a shit whose
theirs.
interpretation it is. Answer the question.
It's the people who wrote it. It's their interpretation that should be followed, and the fact that people aren't following it is a crime.
Okay, how about this? Okay, what motivation does the current government have for acting in accordance with the true intent of the writers of the Constitution?
Jail
And don't
time.
you dare say, but they're not in jail, are they?
Well, they can be.
Almost as if people who have guns who can project power are the ones who will do it and set the values and enforce the beliefs.
Yeah, the people have the guns.
No, they don't.
So we have. You don't have any guns?
I do have guns.
Okay,
but
there you go.
But the beliefs of the people are influenced by the hierarchy that controls them. And in a constitutional republic, or in a regular republic, or in a democracy, if there's private media, if there's NGOs, think tanks, those are the people who are controlling the opinions of the people, thereby controlling the country.
This is private media.
I'm not concerned if it's private media or not.
You just said that private media is bad.
It is.
Yeah, but this is private media.
Yes, and you're not even a minuscule molecule drop in the bucket compared to the people who run the news, who have the think tanks, who actually disseminate information to the fucking people, man.
But that doesn't matter. It's still media. Media is media, no matter how many people are listening or watching.
All you're doing is commentating on the news.
Right. And so you're saying CNN doesn't have opinions?
They do have opinions, but they have people behind them who can say or reinterpret or even flat out falsify things. So it doesn't matter. They're the people. They're overwhelmingly more so the people who influence public opinion, and you're more so influenced by hierarchy than they are, because they are the hierarchy. The point I'm making is people don't get their opinions on their own, and that's why democracy doesn't work.
Well, we don't live in a democracy.
Or Jeffersonian liberal democracy.
So, what are you for? Nothing?
Any system. I'm for non-democratic, non-republican. I'm for
communism.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Stalin was the greatest statesman of the 20th century. That you can't deny that.
So you're a communist?
I mean, no, but I respect some things the communists have done.
Marxist?
Marx was right about some things, but I wouldn't call myself that because he was wrong about some things as
So
well.
what form of government works?
The kind that does not recognize any legal or moral limitations to its projection of power. The kind that sets values.
And what do you call it?
You can call it fascism. You can call it whatever you want.
How would we go about that?
How'd you go about implementing it? How would you go about changing from the current system to that?
Yes.
Am I on video or am I just on audio?
Audio.
Yeah, I figured as much. Still not playing.
That's why it says radio.
We'll probably be a little bit lag.
Yeah, there's about 5 minutes of lag.
Are you talking about like come the revolution, this, that, and the other thing?
No, I'm just asking how you'd implement it.
Like if I had power?
Why do you have to have power?
To make the government how I want it to be.
Why doesn't it just happen naturally?
Because nothing just happens naturally.
Money did.
There has to be intent behind things. Someone has to actually intentionally make something so.
Money came naturally.
Irrespective, you could say that anything comes naturally. It doesn't mean anything. I could like kill and rape a bunch of people. I mean, I'm natural. I came from nature. I'm a natural organism. I didn't come out of outer space, out of another dimension. So natural doesn't mean anything. It's just an abstraction.
It's subjective.
How about you try making a point?
So, when someone says natural flavorings, does that also mean that artificial flavorings are natural because we are natural and we created the artificial flavoring, so therefore it's natural?
So you're saying that money happened without conscious intent?
Well, money happened to solve a problem, which happened naturally. No one invented it. It kind of happened.
So,
like, no one sat down and got out a sketch pad and said, I got the idea. It was basically, hey, you got something I want, I got something you want, here's something we both want.
In other words, they were intentionally trading one thing for another. In other words, there was intent. In other words, it was anthropogenic. In other words, it's not natural by your definition.
It is natural. It did happen naturally.
Why? Respond to what I said.
Because nobody was forced to do it.
Irrespective of whether they're forced to do it or not, it was still intentional, and thereby, by your definition, not... Wait, so are you saying that voluntary shit is natural?
Yes.
And natural is good?
Yes.
So you're like, are you into anarcho-capitalism or something like that?
No. No, a constitutional republic's good enough.
Okay, wait, hold on. Constitutional republic, but that would entail the initiation of force onto people who might not want to do something, but would not technically violate the non-aggression principle. Well, okay, would you agree with the axiom, it is immoral to use force, fraud, or coercion against another person?
Well, that depends on what it is. Like, if that person murdered somebody, then no.
No, I'll rephrase it. Is it immoral to initiate force, fraud, or coercion? In other words, if I initiate against you, you can defend yourself, but wrong to initiate as in it is wrong to be the person who who starts the forcing, the defrauding, the coercive.
If you killed somebody, and then I came after you for killing that person, would I be initiating force?
No, you wouldn't be initiating force in this, as per the non-aggression principle. You would only be initiating it if you initiate it, not if you're responding to it.
So I could respond to it on behalf of another?
Sure. Like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you shouldn't do that.
Okay, so you agree with the non-aggression principle then? You agree with the principle of don't aggress against other people?
Sure.
Okay, so how do you believe in a constitutional republic?
How is that aggressive?
It's a form of government. Because it's all government is coercive. You can't have taxes without coercion.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay taxes in a constitutional republic.
You don't?
No.
Holy fuck. Wow, okay. Are you sure?
Yes, we did it for a long time.
Yeah, no, but we had tariffs, which were, that's still a form of tax. It's just on imports?
It was not anyone who fell under the Constitution.
That doesn't answer my question. You're talking something weird.
Yes, the taxes did not affect anyone who lived under the Constitution.
But it affected people. So it's
Where?
still the whoever was whoever the taxes were coming out of, whoever the tariff or whatever.
Yes, but it was not affecting the people who lived under the Constitution.
It wasn't affecting people who live under the Constitution.
Right.
Okay, so your system would so your non-aggression system would only apply to the people who are living within the country.
Do you agree?
Do I agree with what?
Do you agree that the tariffs only affected people outside of the country?
If it was a tax on imports, then yes, surely that would be the case.
Yeah, I don't agree with you.
Am I getting the definition of tariff wrong, or?
No, because then the people who are getting taxed raise their prices to compensate for the tax. So therefore, the people who are buying the imported goods are actually paying for the import tax.
So you agree with me that a government requires coercion?
No. I said that we don't need to pay tax. That's all I said.
You're not making sense, man.
Yes, I did. In a constitutional republic, you don't have to pay taxes. Like, it's not mandatory. You brought up taxes. I said they're not a requirement.
Wait, so you said that so let's say the government finances itself only on it. So you're saying that so it's applying to the people within the country. Basically, you're saying that in a constitutional republic, the non-aggression principle is applicable to people living under the Constitution, under the government, within the borders. Is that what you're saying?
You brought up taxes, and I said that you don't have. Constitutional republic does not require taxes.
I'm well aware of that.
Okay.
I'm well aware of that.
So now where are we? I don't know where we're at.
Irrespective of that, you still need to initiate force in order to have a government.
How?
If someone wants to secede and form their own country, you're going to have to stop them, aren't you?
The state of Michigan could secede at any time.
In a constitutional republic?
Yes.
Okay, so in other words, what you're saying is...
Actually, I would welcome California and New York to secede at any time that they please.
So basically what you're saying is you don't believe in having a country.
Oh, I didn't say that, but we are...
Yes, you did. You can't have a country if you're not defending your own borders and you're not protecting your own interests.
You actually
okay?
really don't
you're living in a
understand the
fucking
United
fantasy
States.
world.
The United States.
You don't understand anything. You're literally saying that parts of the United States should secede. That makes no fucking sense.
So each of the 50 states are part of a union, and that was voluntary, which they can voluntarily leave that union at any time.
That's like a confederation, man.
That's what.
Do you agree with that? So you disagree with the Constitution and agree with the Articles of Confederation?
It's in the name, United States.
Irrespective of that, so you disagree with the Constitution and believe that the Articles of Confederation should have been kept?
What does that have to do with the United States?
Because you believe in the supremacy of state governments over the federal government.
The states created the federal government.
Irrespective of that, you believe in the supremacy
and the states can abolish the federal government.
You believe in literal anarchism.
I didn't say that. The states.
Yes, you did.
I'm actually telling you how the United States works.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Because if a state seceded, you have two options: either let them secede and admit you're a fucking weak government that has no control over anything and is completely legitimate, or you fuck their shit up until they stay with you.
Well, that's your opinion.
Because you want their resources, you want their labor, you want their shit.
That's your opinion.
That's how a country works.
That's your opinion.
And it's the right opinion.
We are 50 states
let's say,
of a union.
Let's say you had a state and a county wants to. If you were in a state, let's say you're in the state of, I don't know, Arizona, and Maricopa County wants to secede from the state of Arizona. Or Apache or Cochise County wants to secede from the state of Arizona. Would you allow that too under your little constitutional?
The counties did not create the states.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yes, it
matter
does.
because no one's paying attention to your bullshit.
That's not my bullshit. That's how the United States works.
Irrespective of whether they created them or not,
the federal government does not rule over the states.
The sky is blue. No, it's not, because no. How about this? The sky at the end of the day is purple. Well, actually, no, it's not purple because you see, red and blue make purple. But you see, look at the sky. You can see it's kind of purple at the end. No. It's red and blue. It's red and blue. It's not purple. Well,
so
hey, did you know that 2 + 2 = 4? No, 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 4. You're literally saying
who created the federal government?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, yes, it does. Who created it?
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Who created the federal government? You don't know.
It doesn't matter.
You don't know. Just say you don't know.
You either have a country that enforces power and fucks people up when they don't do what the government says, or you don't have a fucking country.
Just say you don't know. Admit that you don't know how the United States works. Just say that you don't know. I would respect you if you said that you didn't know. He left. He doesn't know. The states created the federal government, and the states can abolish it.
Live radio?
Yes. It's actually live radii.
Oh, Pog, radii, dude.
Oh, there's the O.
Okay.
What's happening? What's on your mind?
People wanted me to make an OnlyFans, but now they're not subscribing. Like, what's the point of asking me to make an OnlyFans then?
I don't know. I don't even know what that is.
Wow, you don't know what OnlyFans is? Come on, dude.
What is it?
It's like what's the best way to? You can. It's like Twitter, but you have to pay to see their content.
Oh, who wants to do that?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
That's dumb.
It's too much work.
Yeah, fuck that.
To be fair, one of my posts on there is just me eating pizza, so.
I'd rather snort pixie sticks.
I mean, snorting pixie sticks is pretty fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did it for a joke before. It burns like hell, dude.
Yeah, but it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, so great. You get that sugar high, dude.
Uh-huh.
God damn.
Smells good, too.
I can feel my nose burning at the thought of it.
Now, would you do it again?
Hell yeah, dude.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's some good shit.
Especially those like foot-long pixie sticks, dude.
Yeah, the big ones that are in like oversized straws, sized whatever. They're kind of like hula hoop plastic filled with pixie dust. Where'd that name even come from, pixie sticks?
Well, obviously, that was what came out when they grinded down the pixies. And now, since we've hunted pixies to extinction, they have to make a substitute.
Yeah.
And that's the sugar in it.
Damn.
It's tragic.
We fucked some shit up.
I remember the good old days when you see pixies in the wild.
Fuck up some trout. Some pixie sticks. He left. Hi. Gone. All right. Hello.
Hey, buddy. Live radio.
How you doing?
Am I on the radio this evening, sir?
Boy, that cat sounds natural on the microphone.
You are listening to Wild 95.5 The Buzz.
Right. Listen to this cat.
Am I legit on the radio?
You're live right now.
No shit.
Yes.
No shit. I can't tell if you're playing around.
So
what do you want to talk about, bud?
Bring up a topic.
Well, I see you are under the tags of politics, socialism, and capitalism.
Right. All of them at one time.
All of them at fucking once, man. That sounds wild.
You know what? We've never tried that. Why don't we take socialism, capitalism, communism, and Marxism and combine them together?
Yeah, let's
into one clusterfuck of isms.
Yeah, let's just shoot ourselves right in the asshole.
Why don't we just call it ism fuck?
We could do that.
Right. So one ism fuck. That would be great. So bring up what policy is on your mind?
All right. So I noticed Bernie Sanders just proposed a tax the rich bill.
What? When did he do that?
Today.
He did that today.
Today.
That's shocking.
Yeah, and okay, so basically it's a tax on billionaires to tax their not their earnings, 60% of their wealth increases from the last year. Specifically because he wants to do it in order to help people pay for out-of-pocket medical expenses due to the whole coronavirus thing, right? And stupid people who don't understand how economics works will be all for it.
Right.
The issue here is, in taxing wealth, he is taxing non-liquid assets. So what will happen is, for instance, Jeff Bezos. So during the coronavirus pandemic, Amazon has been shooting straight through the fucking roof because everybody's been utilizing Amazon in order to get things they need because they don't want to fucking leave their house. So you look at, Amazon. I believe the estimate that it would cost Jeff Bezos like $40-something billion this tax, and Elon Musk $20-something billion, right? But the issue is, these people don't have $26 or $47 billion in liquid assets. They don't have that cash. This is value in their companies, which they have a stake in. They have ownership in these companies. So in order to get this money to pay their tax, they would have to liquidate their assets, which is a huge fucking nightmare.
I would buy an Amazon van.
Why don't you?
Well, they're not liquidating their assets yet.
Oh no, I don't mean in that way. I don't mean literally liquidate their hard assets. I mean Bezos would have to liquidate his shareholdings.
Oh, that's a bummer. I kind of wanted to buy a big old Amazon van.
Hey man, you could probably build your own Amazon van. You get yourself a Dodge Sprinter and you pay for the skins.
Yeah, an Amazon skin. Then people will think I'm delivering. I could deliver packages.
You could.
I could be like Santa Claus.
Yeah, well actually that dude just assassinated that fucking federal judge's goddamn son.
I heard about that.
The UPS man. So I don't know if that'd be a good idea to dress up as a...
Well, that was UPS. We're talking about Amazon.
This is true, but it's still, you're like a parcel man, and you're not really a parcel man.
I'll just make sure not to go to his address.
Oh, that'd be fucked. That'd be so fucked. I have a package for you,
Wait, so
ma'am.
do you think UPS people don't want to go to that address? Do you think the people who work at UPS in that area, they avoid that address at all costs?
I'll tell you what, if I was a UPS man in that area, I'd be like, nah, that's fucked. Or if I was gonna go there, I'd put on a fucking FedEx hat.
Why does it matter? If it's UPS or FedEx or USPS or Amazon, it's someone delivering. Could be the pizza guy.
This is true. Some poor pizza guy is gonna get shot because this judge has PTSD.
Damn, I never thought about that when I was a pizza guy. Delivering pizzas.
Yeah. How long were you a pizza man?
Well, I didn't deliver the whole time, but about 4 years.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, all through high school.
Yeah, it's a pretty not great job, but no worries. I've had a shit ton of plenty not great jobs.
Yeah, I've had them too. I worked in fast food.
I've never been in the restaurant or hospitality industries.
Yeah, the worst part about it is when you smell like everything combined when you leave.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you work at places that have salads. The banana peppers reek.
Yeah,
You smell that over everything, but it's just, imagine taking all the juices of everything that could be in a restaurant, mixing them together, and then washing your clothes in it, and that's what it would smell like. That's what your clothes smell like.
That sounds reasonable, and that doesn't sound nice. Now, some of my jobs, a lot of them were in construction, right? Like my first job was when I decided to stop being homeless. I tried to get a job, and I couldn't get hired anywhere because I didn't have an address, right? But I was able to find a job working as a helper in construction for a solid $4 per hour.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was worth it because using that $4 per hour, I was able to save up enough money to get a post office box and a bicycle.
So let me ask you something. Was that under minimum wage?
Absolutely.
So, according to minimum wage, that was illegal.
Indeed.
According to minimum wage, they're saying that you're better off making nothing than $4 an hour.
Exactly. No, the minimum wage is dog shit. If I didn't have the opportunity to make $4 an hour, I would have made nothing, and I would have been fucked.
Why do we still have it?
Because people are too dumb to know what's good for them. And right now, the Democratic Party, they pander to their base and they buy votes. That's the way that the Democratic Party functions. They buy votes through government benefits, through fucking... Yeah, that's pretty much it. They buy votes through government benefits.
Will that end?
It won't end in a good way.
How do you think it will end?
All right, so right now we're in a stage of incredible chaos, right? So we have political chaos, we have social chaos, we have cultural chaos, we have religious chaos, we have economic chaos, and now we have the added chaos of being in a global pandemic.
All right.
Right? During all that chaos, also, certain groups are deciding to riot and cause even more chaos. What this will do, when people are faced with nothing but chaos, they seek out order. Chaos is inherently the feminine, and it is associated with liberality and the left. Order is inherently the masculine, and it's associated with conservatism. It's associated with the right.
You hear that, Viva DP? Oh, sorry. Continue.
Are you talking to imaginary fucking radio hosts right now?
Oh no! In the chat, Pinoy is very that's his name, Pinoy. He is very liberal, very feminine, as you say.
Am I on Twitch?
No, they banned me.
Am I on Discord?
No.
What am I on?
Shit radio.
Shit radio.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. I like the bell. It's fancy. So
you're live. I'll do it official, okay? You're live on shitradio.com.
I'm on shitradio.com. Get it, baby.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
And how many people's attention do I currently have?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Okay. So let me continue with that. So when people are faced with nothing but chaos, they seek out order. Now the problem is people will seek out order, and that's not the problem. The problem is people don't know how far to go. So let's say you need a solid 60% more order in order to resolve the current issues and make everything fucking normal again. People won't stop at 60%. They'll go a full fucking 200% before they stop. And with 200%, you are going to see, I won't say an American Fascist Party, specifically because there will be no American Fascist Party, because Americans don't like bad-sounding names. So there will be a new political party, and it'll take the name. It'll be something very palatable. Maybe the Patriots Party. Maybe
like the Patriot Act.
Yeah. It's gonna sound really nice. It's gonna be disarming, right? But it will be.
What about the pony?
Fascist.
What about the pony system? Like
the pony system?
Yes, free ponies for everybody.
Oh right. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, the pony ID system, mandatory toothbrushing with the dental police, all those policies.
For sure. No,
all right.
None of that.
Well, vote Vermin Supreme, and that's what we'll get.
Vermin fucking Supreme.
Yes.
Nuke Vermin Supreme, man. Get the fuck rid of that guy.
Vermin Supreme's good.
No, fuck that dude.
The pony-based economy?
No quiero.
All right. Anyway, what you were talking about?
Yeah, so...
Oh, yes.
A lot of people, when they talk about fascism...
The feminine male said that 60% of Republicans are fascists.
Well, that's interesting, right? So when you talk about a political party and you're saying 60% of Republicans are a political party, that's pretty stupid because people have to be self-proclaimed in a political party. Now, you can say that they share certain ideological similarities with fascists. Okay, that's fine, specifically because no one knows what fascism is anymore. All fascism was state-sponsored capitalism, in which the state also engaged in a lot of capitalistic enterprises. Not only that, they enshrined private property. Basically, if you look at Italian fascism under Mussolini, he said that he, rather than socializing the means of production, he socialized the human being for the good of Italy. But this is an important distinction. Italy, the state, meaning the name, meaning the glory of Italy rather than the people. Whereas in National Socialist Germany, which Nazi Germany had a very similar political stance as fascist Italy, they socialized the human being as well, but for the good of Germany, the people. Which is why you listen to all of Hitler's speeches, and he talks about taking care of your neighbors as if they were your brothers. Right? That's was the whole spiel was about. Now in America, you'll see something very similar. You'll see very strong nationalism crop up with the increased order. You'll see an increase in, or you'll see a decrease in taxes on business. You'll see a rise in economic prosperity, like you did under fascism in Chile under Pinochet. And a lot of bad things will happen to people on the left, like you see every time the right goes too far. You'll see a lot of bad things happen to a lot of people who are on the left. That's where it's going.
So where are we ending up? War?
No, I don't think a war, because I don't think the left has the ability to mobilize in any concerted fashion.
Well, then why do we listen to them at all?
What? Because it's kind of like when you have like a retarded little brother, and you're just like, yeah, go ahead, you can have your little temper tantrum for a while, and then they get too annoying, and you bop them on the head, then they cry. And
So you're saying that we're gonna have to pistol whip all the leftists that are getting a little annoying.
They're gonna have to be bopped on the head a little bit.
Yeah.
And I hope it won't go towards helicopter rides, free helicopter rides. I'm hoping it won't get to that, but it probably will.
Interesting.
Yes, indeed.
I'd like a free helicopter ride.
Do you know what the free helicopter rides are?
Yeah, like when you go to the airport and you get onto a helicopter, but you got to pay per hour. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, no. Pinochet, the dictator of Chile, fascist Chile, he would take his political opponents up in a helicopter and throw them out of it.
Well, that sounds fun. What parachute were they using?
No parachute.
Oh. Well, that sounds fun. You hit the ground.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a blast for several seconds.
Yes.
Did you ever hear Bill Burr's helicopter story?
Bill Burr,
the comedian.
Yes, but I don't remember it.
The helicopter story is, he heard about this guy who, he inherited his father's helicopter tour business, right? His father started this helicopter tour from the ground up, worked it his whole life, and then he handed it off to his son. He says, son, congratulations, make the family proud. You're going to take the family business. Within the first week of him owning this helicopter business, he took a guy up and took him on a tour, and in the middle of the tour, the dude fucking jumped out of the goddamn helicopter.
The new owner?
No. The one of the guys, one of the guests.
The guest, okay.
Yeah. One of the guys he was giving a ride fucking went and jumped out of his goddamn helicopter mid fucking flight. Like 1 week away from this kid inheriting the family business. His father did it for fucking 30 years, no problems. 1 week after this kid gets it, and a dude fucking kills himself using the helicopter.
So what did he do after that?
No, I don't fucking know.
Okay.
But Bill Burr has a funny story about it.
All right.
Anyway, bud, I was happy to be a guest on your radio show.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You should work on your broadcasting voice.
Why?
Because it's enjoyable. It's nostalgic.
Wait, I don't have a broadcasting voice?
No, I mean like the typical radio broadcaster voice.
I did do it.
Dude.
Wild and wacky DJs, right?
Oh, you're getting that's a really interesting type of like twang you got going on there. Wild and wacky.
my wild and wacky DJ radio voice.
That's interesting. That is really interesting.
Yeah. Well, if I was
weekends in the morning.
You're live on Dingleberry in the morning right here on shitradio.com.
Shit Radio FM 97.1. Yeah, fun stuff, bud. Fun stuff.
Well, thanks for being a guest on Dingleberry in the morning.
No problem, man. You have a good night.
You too. All right, lady. There he goes. Speaking of having a good night, I'm going to have a good night as well. And you have a good night as well. The show the replay might be messed up. I might have to do something special for it, but we'll see what happens. 855-873-8244. TrueBigShow.com. I got to get out of here. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate it. I'm out. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. See you in the chat. Peace!
The Treubig Show. TreubigShow.com.
The Treubig Show. So what's the point?
The point of what?
Are you making a point?
A point about what? You said what's the point? That would imply. Are you saying what's the point of what I'm saying?
No, I'm asking you. I mean, you're asking me. You're responding with a question.
You're asking me. You're using too many pronouns, man.
No. I'm asking you. What's the point?
When you say what? The point to what?
I'm asking you, what's the point?
I know.
You're
totally
responding with a question.
I totally understand what your point is. I heard the sentence. I'm saying, please please explain what you mean by these words.
I want you to
elaborate.
I want you to expand on what you were saying.
Of what?
I want you to expand on what you're saying.
About what? Specifically what? We're talking about a lot of things.
Well, now I can't remember because you asked so many questions.